All right. We live. Get this bliss sticks ready and stuff. Yep. Yes, sir. We went live 5 minutes early. Because I saw y'all waiting in the chat. And I appreciate that. So I ain't going to make y'all wait. Hold up. Let's do that real quick. Come over here, connect to my headphones. Yes, we good. Is this Joy? One second, y'all. Let me hit my do not disturb. People calling me and stuff. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. We got John the Maven early, boy. How John is first. Shout out to John. John is first. Yes, indeed. Chains of Scarlet in building part 4. Let's go. You already know. We got Max. Unfortunately, I will miss the beginning of the stream, so in advance, say hi. What's good, Max? All good. We got Shindigami going to join soon, more properly. All good. And we are live. Yes, sir. We are live early because I saw y'all was in here. So what's up? Let's get it cracking. Let's get it started. Watching The Mentalist. I feel like I've seen that movie before, or that show, The Mentalist. Is that a show? Shinigami, is that a show, The Mentalist? I feel like I've seen that before. But hey, yo, my bro. What's good, bro? Yes, how are you doing today? We got Valeria in the chat. Hey, Ab-Stract. Hey, chat. How you doing, love? Let's get it. All right. So, tell me about how your guys' week has been and what you guys got planned for the weekend before we get started. Me and my wife just went to this tulips field of flowers thing. We picked some flowers. Actually, let me show you guys real quick. So, like I said, went to this field of flowers in multiplier. Almost sounds like multiplier, right? But yeah, went to this field of flowers place in Maryland, and we got some of these. Very nice. She killed one. This one is actually dead. You guys probably can't see it, but this one's dead. It was an all white tulip, but it couldn't last till we got home, sadly, right? But she picked this pink one, this one right here, and this white and pink one, and I picked this luscious maroon colored one. So it was very nice. And overall, it was a pretty good week for me. You know, work was nice. I'm getting accustomed to waking up around 3:30 a.m. and driving to work. It's about an hour and a half drive to work. I wake up at 3:30, and then I start work at 6. And then from 6 to 2:30, I'm at work. From 2:30 and onward, I have about an hour and a half drive home, sometimes 2 hours. From then, I'll go to the gym, do some reading, or do some business type work, and then I'll go to sleep, repeat the process, baby. But yeah, we're not looking for, we are kind of technically still looking for an apartment because we actually haven't gotten approved for the one that we're moving into together at. But yeah, what else? So some new updates as far as the Naruto chakra conversation. We're going to get into that. Probably not this stream, because what I'll do is we'll probably do like another 2 hours of Noodles versus Swagkage, and then I'll take a break, play some Xbox, do some more business stuff, and then I'll probably again be on live later tonight so we can have this chakra conversation again. All right. We have more Twitter conversations to review. I know y'all like them. I like them too. They're very fun. More Twitter conversations to review. And yeah, it's going to be fun. Vacaria says, I've been enjoying Tensura and Overlord lately. Oh my gosh. Overlord, let me show you. Overlord is probably my favorite isekai OP protagonist series. It's so comical. It's so fun. I love all the characters pretty much. The writing's just really good. It's like Dungeons and Dragons. I never played Dungeon. Well, no, that's not like Dungeons and Dragons. I'm thinking of No. It is because I don't know if you guys watch any news, but that's what he says. Overlord pulls from Dungeons and Dragons. So it's just really cool. I think my favorite Guardian is the twins Aura and Mari, probably because me and my brother are twins, so they're probably my favorite Guardians. Aside from them, though, probably Pandora's actor, because Pandora's actor is just so over dramatic and hilarious. I like Pandora's actor. But no, Overlord is like my top 1 to 3 isekai OP protagonist anime, and it's not number 2, you heard? So yeah, really good show. Really good show. Narutuber touching grass and having a wholesome, fulfilling relationship. Uncanny. It really, ain't it, John? Ain't it, bro? Ain't that wild, bro? Like, and you got to think too. It's like, well, no, I don't want to speak pejoratively. Yes, it is uncanny. I'll leave it there, right? I don't want to unintentionally slight anyone or anything like that. But yes, it was uneventful. Oh, that's rough. Change of Scarlet. But I had an odd dream last night that Swagkage sold his channel to a grifter YouTube channel similar to Jake Paul. Interesting. Very interesting. That's a weird dream. So you had a dream about Swagkage selling his channel to a grifter, something like Jake Paul. That's a very interesting dream. It's not very often that my dreams. No, actually it is. I was about to say it's not very often that my dreams wander to different or other people like totally unrelated to me. But no, I've actually had several dreams where like individuals that aren't in my daily life have been involved. So I was about to say like that's kind of weird, but no, it's actually pretty normal. It depends, like I guess what your subconscious is feeling or your subconscious is thinking about, and I guess it like pulls it to the surface within the dream world. And actually, there's an actual theory that dreams are in fact another reality in another world. And you kind of just enter that world through the process or the act of sleeping. Interesting thing about sleeping, though, they say is the closest cousin to death. So you could actually metaphorically look at it as when you're sleeping, you are dying, but then to die is actually to wake. If you get on the deep metaphysics, to die is to actually wake, right? So you're actually waking within the dream, but you're dying in real life. Crazy concept. Like you die when you go to sleep, but then you wake up in the dream world. So to die is actually to wake. And, you know, the semantics, not even the semantics, sorry, the tricknology they play on language, good morning, awake, but we also know awake is like something that happens at a funeral. Very interesting stuff. I am back, Ab-Stract, man. How are you? I'm good, man. I'm good, Karibo. I was about to say Karibo. I'm good, Shinigami. My fault. I'm good. Shinigami, all these conversations on Twitter, bro, they're funny. They're hilarious. And like I said, I can't wait to review some of those conversations, some of those threads. It's going to be fun. Going to draw my man as we scream. Nice. Also, I got comments on the Naruto versus Sasuke to say. Naruto versus Sasuke? No. Oh, yeah, Shinigami. I have to review your thread, too. I know you tagged me in the Genjutsu working cross verse, but if it's verse equalization, I will be reviewing that hopefully later today when I do the other stream. And I want to say this, it's not guaranteed that I'll go live later today because, like I said, after this live, I'm probably going to play Xbox a little bit because I've been working hard all week, so I get to relax. All right, don't judge me. I get to relax, all right? So I'll probably play a little Xbox, unwind, while I'm also working on the Amazon thing me and my twin brother got going on. Probably do that. And then hopefully around like 5, 6. No. Hopefully around like 6, 7, I can go live again. We can get into some conversations about Naruto and chakra and stuff like that. Their battle IQ 1. Okay. My favorite guardian is Shalltear. Vampires and dragons are my favorite mythical creatures, and she's the vampire queen that can apparently summon anything from her household ability. Hey, Shalltear. So what I like about Shoutier is, even though she might be like the strongest, or I should say how I like Shoutier, how I like she was written, right? Because all the Guardians aren't equal in their abilities, even though they're all made by the Supreme Beings. So Shoutier is like held as the strongest floor Guardian, maybe aside, or the strongest fighter in Nazarick, maybe aside from like Rubeto, and you'd have to know the novels to know who Rubeto is. So she's held as like one of the strongest Guardians. But, and this isn't to like be mean, but she's not the most bright of the amongst the Guardians. She's not the smartest, right? Whereas Aura, the little elf girl who dresses like the boy, Aura is pretty smart and also has great utility outside of Nazarick, right? Because Ainz relies on her a lot for gathering information. He trusted her enough to have the world item, nature of depiction in the society, and all this other things. So I like the dichotomy and the differences in the Guardians, and it's very cool that they're not all like Demiurge. They're not all like Albedo. Even Cocytus, who's a warrior, lost his first battle against the Lizardmen simply because he was just thinking Ainz was going to give him an army that would win. So it's very interesting. It's very cool how those characters are written. Hello, we got Tay in the building. What's good, Tay? Oh, we got Neo Matrix in the building. What's good, Neo Matrix? Say what you will about Swag. At least he wasn't a grifter. True. What up, folks? Hey, how you doing, Pack? What's good? Caught. Birdman, cough, Colin, cough, SK. Shinigami, you gotta break it down for me. Currently, a lot of channels that I really like have not been uploading for the past several months, and that is making me anxious. So that's probably part of it. Okay, I got you. That makes sense. Yeah. And it definitely makes sense for, I want to say, at least older channels to like slow down on uploads, especially like I'm even noticing it's like, for example, the main reason you guys got those 3 like really peak videos from me in that time period was because at the time, like I said, I was unemployed. I literally just got fired right before Christmas and they did me dirty. So I had a lot of free time to just lock in and just make videos. But now that I'm working, all those hours are literally just going to the man, right? Going to the paycheck, which is fine, but it just means I can't dedicate as much time into making a 20-minute video. You know what I mean? So things like, so number one, my Bleach versus One Piece video, I don't know where my editor is with that. He hasn't reached out in like 2 months. Don't know what's going on with him, but I like him. So I'm just going to let that, ride out. He'll come back eventually. The Kimimaro video. I want to make it longer. I think I have around like 8 minutes of material. I want to make it longer, but I need to figure out how to extend it, number one. And this happens to me sometimes too. I lost interest midway through like talking about it. I lost interest midway through talking about it because I was like, why am I talking about Kimimaro? Why do I care? But then I was like, nah, Kimimaro is a cool character. He's actually really underrated and he deserves to have his time in the sun or under the sun. So, yeah. That isn't to say I've started working on it again, but I will finish the video eventually. But until then, it's just going to be a lot of lives and me yapping to the camera and stuff like that, which is fine, Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. Oh, good. It's just I saw Grifter and a few people came to mind. Oh, that's hilarious. Bro, I'm absolutely done with this Twitter shit. Yeah, man. I hope you can review it. Yeah, I'm going to review it. Because, man, I'm tired of people going nuh-uh with it. Yeah. You play Xbox? Of course. Yeah, man. I play... so the only games I really, really play on Xbox are For Honor, Helldivers 2, Rainbow Six Siege. Probably my favorite game probably my favorite game right now, at least. And Lord of the Rings, Shadow of War. That game is so fun. That game is dangerously addicting because the Nemesis system is like crack. You get killed by a random orc fodder and he taunts you and then you're like, all right, bet. You got lucky. I happened to sneeze while I was like doing my thing and you got lucky. Bet. And then you pull up on that same orc and he gets you again. And instead of killing you, he lets you live. He humiliates you. That is sickening. So I'll spend sometimes the better part of 3 hours hunting down the same orc that killed me. And sometimes he kills me so much, he'll get so far up in the food chain, I can't even hunt him anymore. I have to hunt his minions before I get to him. And at that point, I've lost track of who the fuck he is, because now I've died to another orc. And I was like, all right, bet. You Mark too, Nick. So, like, yeah, no, man, Shadow of War, that's a fun game. That's a fun game. If you agree that ending your stream of consciousness equates to death, then we die every time we sleep. Every day when you wake up, you are a new person based on the last version of yourself. I like that. I like that. That's a good way to look at it. That's a very good way to look at it. Every time you die and you wake up, every time you go to sleep, sleep would be death. And then every time you wake up, that would actually be a new you. Very interesting. Yeah. And I don't judge you, my fellow gamer. Flanders Scarlet clears, in my honest opinion. Flanders Scarlet. I don't know what Flanders Scarlet is. Colin legit criticizing Synthetic Man for pointing out a fat asking kid is a fat Asian kid. Oh, a fat Asian kid is a fat Asian kid, but started a whole drama because someone wanted modernization on Marvel Rivals. Valkyria says all of the Guardians are extremely strong in their own right, in accordance of their supreme being wants for them. Exactly. Shinigami says, for reference, there was a guy who had a Jew genocide tag. Colin even downplayed the Holocaust on top of that. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, uploaders are going to burn themselves out, and it's going to be bad when new content comes out. Oh, my. Yeah. So what I'll be doing, at least what I'll be doing, me and Shonen Cone are probably going to be going live every week after Core 4 to just talk about what happened and give our thoughts and opinions and reviews and stuff like that. And then, because me and him talked about a collab video about Askin, I was like, hey, bro, how about this? Let's just hold off on the Askin video, because we were going to like make it early. But I was like, let's hold off until it gets animated, because it will be animated, right? So there's no need for us to jump the gun and use panels and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, we'll still use the panels, but let's get it animated, because they're going to add some things and they're going to hype some things up. And so, yeah, I'm really excited for Core 4. This is going to be fun. Valkyria also says, even sometimes with uploaders putting out so many vids will make their viewers feel overwhelmed. I agree. When upload, because I'm also a content consumer, right? When people upload too many videos, for me, it's like, I don't need to catch all of these joints. That's how I feel, at least. But you do have your dedicated fans that will watch every single video that you put out. There needs to be pacing. I agree. If Kimimaro had survived his disease, he would probably be top tier in the verse just due to his healing factor. Due to his healing factor and durability, he would be, in my opinion, very hard or very difficult to handle and deal with. But yeah, my video is going to cover that. Helldivers never die. Oh, yes, they do, John. Don't you lie. Over like 1 million Helldivers have died. But yeah, hey, yo, do you play Helldivers, John? That game is so frustrating, especially like when you're in a lobby with like supposed high ranks, but they don't have any survivability. Like, they'll have the stratagems, they'll have the weapons and stuff, but like they don't know how to survive. And I'm like, bro, I can't keep being the only one knowing how to survive in this game. It's like they never played Call of Duty Zombies and how to train the zombies and stuff like that. It's like, come on, y'all. I only play mostly anime games on Xbox. I'm not playing Western garbage crap. Anime games. Okay, so like the anime fighting games, the Naruto Ninja Storms, the My Hero Academias, the Demon Slayer stuff. Okay. I haven't, so yeah, I kind of got out of anime games. They just weren't really, like, I kind of felt like they were just reskinned versions or packages of the same thing with newer characters and newer moves and stuff like that. You can take all the Storm games as an example. Someone tried to not apply verse equalization for Bleach, even though I said I would apply verse equalization. I mean, they're lost. If they don't apply verse equalization, there's no hope of most technique, well, not most techniques, but, you know, the main techniques that they want to work not working. What's good, Karibo? How are you doing? We got Karma in the chat. I clearly missed something. Reincarnation, sleep sounds cool though. Oh yeah. No, we were just theorizing, or more so just talking about sleeping and death and, you know, words and stuff like that. Because I think Chains of Scarlet said that he had a dream about Swagkage selling his channel, And then I kind of went on this whole spiel about death, sleep, and waking reincarnation. And then John gave his own interpretation, which was also very dope. Also very dope. Shane says, what was this about Flanders Scarlet Clears? I do have one of those. I don't know what that is. What is Flanders Scarlet? I have no idea what that is. John Maven says, Ab, you like battle rap, right? Have you seen that I'll make a round, wrap around, every wrap around, wrap around bit? I have not seen that. Based on even just how you said it, it's worth looking into. Let me look at this real quick. I have a feeling it's going to be very funny. I feel like I know who did that, though. Let me look at this. You said, I'll make a round, wrap around, every wrap around, wrap around. Oh, Canon the Beast versus Young Canon. Okay, yeah. So I feel like this was. So I've never seen this battle, but I know this has been said before, probably echoed by someone else in reference to this guy. No, I have seen this before. No. I have seen this before. I remember this. No, I've seen this before. Yeah. I won't play it because I don't want to get, But yes, I've seen this before. I'll make a round, wrap around, every wrap around if I wrap around. Yeah, I remember that shit, bro. Oh, man. Loves me some Helldivers. Yeah, no, Helldivers is fun, man. Helldivers 2 for democracy. Wait, is it right here? Yeah, man. Chains of Scarlet. Hey, look, I like Flanders. She's cool. I'll make you a cup of Liberty. That's fire, Valkyria. That's fire. I play other anime games, but I was planning on getting Ninja Storm, Demon Slayer, and others. Okay, gotcha. To be honest, yes, without verse equalization, I would just have to focus on Izanami, Izanagi, and Kodo. That's it, practically speaking. See, Izanami, but like, I feel like Izanami still would, I feel like Izanami would still use the chakra network, though, because it's still a mental attack. But we can put that on the table. Izanagi, yes, absolutely. Izanagi really only affects the caster, so yes. And Kodo and Matsukami. Kodo definitely uses, the chakra circulatory system. Valkyria says, yo, Ab-Stract, since I'm new and don't know every single vid you put up so far, we need more anime instead of the usual. We need Tensura, Overlord, etc. We need more anime instead of the usual. Are you saying you'd like me to cover more of those type of anime on the channel? In like lives and like videos and stuff like that? Is that what you're asking, Valkyria? Change the Scarlet says, I do like Flander as well. My PFP is actually based on her sister, Remilia Scarlet. I have not. I don't know these things. But I'm just reading. Shinigami says, hey, Ab-Stract, how do you feel about knowing that the demons in my manga are just inherently evil? Here's the thing, because I like, this is a good question. And it's one of my many gripes with, Naruto villains. So let me get into that, and then I'll answer Shinigami's question about evil. I've always felt like the Naruto villains aren't really villains. They're not really bad people. Now, from one aspect, you can say, oh, well, they had tragic things happen to them. Life made me this way, right? That's one aspect of that's one aspect of why someone can be bad. But the thing with Naruto, though, I believe there isn't someone who is evil just for evil's sake, right? You cannot have the entire series, or I would say I would not prefer the entire series be populated with tragic stories and good kid, mad city, good guy turned bad guy type thing. Let's look at who we have. Obito, Good kid. Literally helped old ladies across the village. Good kid. Good kid. Bad situation. Turned evil. Orochimaru. Good guy. Served his village. Fought in the war. Had a fear of death. Now I will do everything to avert death. Not really a bad guy. I also wasn't picked to be Hokage. Not really a bad guy though, right? Good guy turned bad. Itachi, never a bad guy to begin with. Pain, debatably never a bad guy to begin with. Pain's intentions were pure, but his methodology was necessary. Meaning, if his goal was to capture the Biju, that was going to be met with some type of resistance. The necessity within his plan would be to eradicate any threat that would stop him from achieving his goal or his means. Now, whether or not Pain knew about the infinite Tsukuyomi in like reality, because there's a flashback where Obito talks about the infinite Tsukuyomi. So he knew about it. And even if we continue along that line of logic, the same thing would have happened because the villagers weren't just going to let him take the Biju. So he was going to have to fight and kill for the Biju. So there was like necessity in his plan as well. But again, Pain, not a bad guy. Just had some effed up shit happen to him. Danzo, as much as people hate him, is not a bad guy. Danzo represents what our modern CIA, FBI, all the alphabet boys represent. The people who are willing and acknowledge the dirtiness, filthiness, and darkness in the world, and have elected to become or to establish a body to deal with that stuff. That's what the root is. They are a body to deal with the underbelly of the ninja world, right? So Danzo, not a bad guy. Kabuto, not a bad guy. Kabuto's a sweetheart, right? I don't want to get into his whole backstory, but Kabuto, not a bad guy. Madara, not a bad guy. There are no bad guys in Naruto. That's my point, right? Everyone is a tragic hero, a tragic something. I don't like that. I want someone to be bad because they bad, bro. I want them to be bad because they bad. That's what I want. That's what I like, at least. And so for me, at least, Bleach somewhat but for me, Bleach somewhat takes that into account with the Espada, right? Because first off, we don't have Aizen's backstory, number one. Aizen just does. Aizen's like Joker, right? You know when Joker's like, if I was a dog and I had something, I wouldn't know what to do with it if I caught it. I would just do things. That's what Aizen is. We don't know why Aizen, here's the thing. We don't have his backstory. We know why Aizen wants to do what he wants to do, right? He wants to change the system. He wants to be the new founder and leader of this. But like, what is the impetus? What is the driving and motivating force behind him wanting that? Is it just because the Soul King is it and he doesn't like to serve it? Like, why though? We don't know. So I like that aspect of it, right? Because there's still some mystery. There's no tragic backstory. There's no, oh, woe is me, my family was killed and the Soul King and I need to become a Shinigami. No, Aizen just wants to do it. I like that shit. That's fire. Yuha felt the feelings of those who had died after they had passed on, and he knew they feared death. His goal, he's not a villain, not really, right? But his goal is to return the cycle, which is, life, death, reincarnation, to a cycle of oneness. And then Kubo does some interesting shit because he plays on the idea that the Soul Reapers are good guys when they're actually technically bad guys, right? So that whole conundrum can also be explored. And then we have the Espada like Grimmjow. Grimmjow just represents destruction and evil and instinct and bitterness the way that I would like it represented in Naruto. Have someone evil just for evil's sakes. Have someone want to kill you just because they want to kill you. That does not happen in Naruto like that. And this isn't a, direct attack or anything. I'm just kind of comparing. And back into Shinigami's question. If the demons are pure evil, and that's what they are, good. Keep them like that. Don't give them a reason. Make that be their driving force. Like how a hollow's driving force is to take a heart, is to take a soul. I like that. Keep it. It makes the world a worse place, which makes better characters. It makes the world a worse place, which makes better characters. Because they have to deal with living under this paradigm. So yeah, very cool. Naruto, no bad guys, plenty of baddies. Ooh. The Naruto, do we want to talk about the Naruto baddies list? Who do we got? I like Gorin. Gorin's a baddie. Yeah, Gorin. I like Gorin. Is there anyone aside from Gorin and Old Anko? Old Anko is kind of like that. Yeah. I think it was a dog chasing cars. Yeah. Aizen made it clear on a surface level. Yeah. Yeah. So Aizen made it clear on a surface level. Why would you want to serve that thing? And I think it explores a little bit more in the novels and stuff like that. But what I'm kind of saying is like, Aizen didn't get beat up by a group of people. He wasn't robbed or anything like that. His family wasn't killed. Like, he didn't have a Tosin backstory where his family was killed by the Sword Reapers. And now Tosin wants to enroll to the Sword Reapers. He didn't have nothing like that, right? Hidan is evil? Hidan is not evil. Hidan isn't evil. Hidan literally kills for his religion. And he fully believes and is fully committed to his religion. That's not evil. Okay, Valkyria said yes. So you'd like me to cover other anime. All right, I've been thinking about this. Because I've been thinking about making a new channel, but I don't know if I'd want it to be more based on like fighting anime and stuff like that, or like kind of just general stuff. Because my options are, I can talk about Kengan Ashura, because I love Kengan Ashura. It's probably my favorite fighting anime that's out there. I love me some Kengan Ashura. Or I probably could talk about stuff like Overlord and Tenshura. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, Mushoku Tensei, and all that other stuff. I probably could talk about that stuff. I don't know if I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't do it on this channel because this channel's mainly dedicated to Bleach, but also the big three. I want to say it's to Bleach mainly, but also the big three. I haven't talked about One Piece, but it's not excluded from also appearing on the channel. I talk about Bleach and Naruto a lot. This is like mainly a hard scaling channel. You know what I mean? The I have not was my talk to text picking up. You talking in the background and I was hitting send. Okay, got you. Orochimaru, Kage, Ishiki, but yeah, most of them are good kid Mads and Nindo, yeah. See, like the Orochimaru and like even Kaguya, like the Otsutsuki have not prerogatives. They have they have assignments. That's not evil to me, bro. Like that's your goal. You want to become like Shibai. That's not. It's evil. What you're doing is evil, right? But I mean like an inherently bad motherfucker. I mean someone who is off rip tripping with you. Off rip tripping with you, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Ishiki. Nah. Like, I want to say Zabuza. I want to say, see, that's the problem with Ninja though. Ninja follow a hierarchy until like they see something exposed. That's what happened with Kasame. He found out his master, or the guy who had Samehada first, was selling secrets to the other villagers, so he murked them. And now there's lies in the world and stuff like that. The world is full of lies. This is a truth that Shinobi knew, or whatever like that. But there ain't no one like just murking because I want, like Data, but we don't know Data's backstory. We know he became a terrorist, but like, well, like why though too? Like, you know what I mean? So yeah. With various equalization, I just treat chakra as stamina. It flows through your body regardless of what you want to call the mechanism. Well, but the mechanism is important. Hidan is evil. Hidan is pretty irredeemable. Yeah, but like Hidan kills in service to his god. That actually does exist within their universe because he did a ritual that made him immortal. That's not evil. That's devotion. One smart beat me to it. Haha. Yeah, Kage went crazy with paranoia. She started out pretty chill. It's like the darker ending of Pink Diamond. Don't know Pink Diamond. I don't know if Kage, she started off pretty chill. Yeah. But like even her, even her, no. I have lots of those kind of guys, but I wanted to know on that perspective because I'm wondering if someone will look into the demons and ignore the ontological logic. Ignore it? I don't know. So it really depends on how the reader interprets these things and if they really care about them, right? I only point them out because they're not as prevalent in the big three. I'm trying to think in One Piece, is there anyone that is evil just because they are evil? I'm trying to think of One Piece. I'm not saying there is or isn't right now, but I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Tay, Karibo, Shinigami, maybe you guys can give me someone who's evil just because they are evil. Naruto, no bad guys, plenty of baddies, right. I think it was Dog Chip. Yes. Aizen made it clear. Yes. I think Aizen is misunderstood. He isn't really a bad guy. He wants to change Soul Society by taking the place of the Soul King. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with wanting change. Is Aizen a bad guy? Is he a bad guy? Or does he just do bad? See, Aizen's a dickhead, though. Like, Aizen's an asshole and a dickhead. And Aizen is one of those people who thinks because he's so much more superior than everyone he's dealing with, that his way is the right way, regardless of how the other person may feel or think about it. And trying to kill Momo is a prime example of that, right? Because in Can't Fear Your Own World, it's revealed that he only tried to kill... No, I think it's in the manga. It's in one of them. He only tried to kill Momo because it was in the manga. He only really wanted to kill Momo because he conditioned her to live only if his existence is... only if he's alive, basically. He conditioned her existence around him being alive and him being there and stuff like that. So, in Aizen's mind, it was actually a kindness to kill her. That's some dope shit, though, isn't it? That's kind of fire. Like, you got to get into the mind of an individual who says, yeah, this is the best outcome for you because I've conditioned you to live and think a certain way, with me being the driving force for that way, by the way, right? I am your object of devotion. So that's kind of dope. And he did the same thing for Kaname. In fact, in Can't Fear Your Own World, what's the word? It's revealed to us that Kaname told Aizen that if he ever felt like he was going back to the side of the Soul Reapers, to kill him. And Aizen did just that. He gave his most loyal subordinate an appropriate and mercy send-off so Kaname would not change who he was. Right? And this is one of the things that I did not like about Obito. We might not even get into this debate. We might just sit here talking about this, honestly. Y'all want to get into the debate or y'all want to keep talking about this stuff? What y'all want to do? We want to talk about the debate. We want to talk about villains and stuff like that. Because this is actually making me like really, Anyways, my problem with Obito in that whole that whole debacle, my fault, was Obito had a tragic thing happen to him. He witnessed his best friend kill his lover. He witnessed it. He gets approached by Madara, or he comes into contact with Madara, and he is told a way in which he can see his beloved Rin again. It sounds good. The kid is literally sold a dream. That's a pun. That's a bar. Obito is literally sold a dream. And he spends the next 5 to 6 years. No, Naruto is 12. Naruto is just born when Obito attacks. And he's 17, right? Okay, so he spends the next 16 roughly years, depending on how old Naruto is. He spends roughly the next 16 years attempting to achieve the infinite Tsukuyomi. Now, whether or not him and Madara were actually on good footing, because like we kind of see during the war, he's like, okay, cool. I have to get this advantage over Obito. Okay, cool. I have to get this advantage over Madara. So they're like on the same team, but they're kind of at odds. But regardless of that, they had the same goal, which was the infinite Tsukuyomi in its execution. I do not like that Obito followed the plan to the letter and then turncoat. He did a complete 180 360. He followed the plan to the letter and then he did a complete 180 360. He was a turncoat. He was a turncoat, right? So he formed the Akatsuki, a group of known killers, assassins, mercenaries, criminals. He formed the Akatsuki. He dispatched them to villages and nations to not to wreak havoc, in some instances to wreak havoc though, because we know the Akatsuki was a mercenary group before they actually started hunting the Bijou because they needed money. So yes, to wreak havoc. They invaded other territories, stole their Shinchuriki hosts, and then started an actual war. A war in which many people died in. A war in which you cannot come back from, bro. You can't start a war and then midway through the war say, I don't want to have the war. You can't do that. I did not appreciate that. I did not like how Obito did not stick to his guns. I do not like how he was finessed to joining their side. I didn't like any of it. I did not like any of it. He should have died the villain that he was. That's what his character was. He was a villain striving for the infinite Tsukuyomi, which in his mind is the best possible outcome for a world of pain, fear, and death. Granted, right? But he should have died the villain that he was. I don't know what question made me read that, but I want to find it again. That being evil spirit, someone focus on, no, bro. Give people a reason. Okay, right. I think Aizen misunderstood. He's a really bad guy. He wants to change. So, okay, yeah. I think it was the really bad guy thing. By taking the place of Soken, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with wanting change. Yes, I agree. I refuse to believe Aizen is evil. Yeah, he might not be evil, but he'd be doing some evil shit. Aizen whining when got sealed was pretty funny. Ichigo and Aizen was lonely. Aizen whining when he got sealed was pretty funny. It was both in and out of character for Aizen, in my opinion. It was both in and out of character because his whole persona is ultimate strength, and ultimate strength leads to like control or power, and power leads to your will or influence being stretched over whatever you want. And so when he was getting sealed, that was a moment where he was not in control. That was a moment when he had no power, and he acted accordingly. In fact, even during his duel with Ichigo, we could literally see his persona cracking, and actually, well, no, his skin didn't crack. The opening of third eye, my fault. But yeah, we could literally see that taking place before us. So I think it was very interesting that that's what Kubo decided to go with. He's going to scream, he's going to curse, he's going to shout, he's going to be emotional and act very tumultuous about what's happening around him because he's not in control. You know what I mean? You would like Chainsaw Man. Plenty of just absolute motherfuckers in that verse. Oh, yeah. I like Chainsaw Man. Good anime, good show. I liked Rize, the bomb demon. I heard she survived, so that made me very happy because I liked her character. And honestly, I hope Kubo never ever releases an Aizen backstory. It makes Aizen more mysterious and more alluring, in my opinion. I agree. We do not need an Aizen backstory. He's fine just where he is. David Goggins, the Hollow. Gabimaru, the Hollow. Bro, react to Ichigo versus Hagoromo. Who win by Aizen's world? Not today. I'll put that on the list. You said Hagoromo versus Ichibei? Let me see. Hagoromo versus Ichibei, Aizen's World. Shout out to Aizen's World. Alright. Then Anko gained weight for absolutely no reason in Boruto. Yeah, that made no sense. Like, whose idea was that? Whose idea was it that Anko gained weight, Choji wound up with the baddie from the Sound Village, even though I don't like her, but he wound up with her. I don't like that. Whose idea was it that, Shikamaru and Tamari is absolutely fine. In fact, I liked that from their first encounter. That's absolutely fine. Whose idea was it that Ino and Sai would end up together? That's strange. That's weird. Whatever. And then Ten and Lee. Whose idea was it that Neji should die? Out of all the Konoha 11, why wasn't it Kiba? Because Shino's too cool to die. Hinata is the love interest. We need Ino Shikacho, so can't none of them go. But you, Kiba, you're not anything. Kiba is literally useless. Like, he literally is useless and has no utility. Neji was a genius, a prodigy of his clan, a master of the gentle fist. Right? What? Stupid decision. Terrible decision. Terrible decision. Should have been Kiba. Samui Tsunade, Anko Mei. The list goes on. I like Shizune too. She's underrated. You think Shizune is underrated? Shizune is average karma. Tsunade, get her off the list. Anko can stay. Mei can stay. We like Mei. I like Gordon too. Tamari got a fiery attitude. She can stay on the list. Kaguya, Konan, Tsunade, Anko, Delta, Mai, and more. No, Karibo. Your list is trash. You said Kaguya, Konan, Tsunade. No, Anko is the only person on that list that means anything. Cowards can't handle Boruto era Anko. That's slick. That's funny, but it also tells me what you like, Karibo, and you ain't slick either. Konan gives me the feeling that she has piercings in places I wouldn't like, but she's fine too. Yeah, that's hilarious, bro. Adult Ino, Tsunade, Mei, Samui, Hinata. Adult Ino? Yeah, okay, Adult Ino. I mean, Ino is like, Ino, man, I don't know. Tsunade, absolutely not. Mei, yes. Samui, is she from the Hidden Cloud? Is she the dark-skinned girl from the Hidden Cloud or the white girl from the Hidden Cloud? Hinata? No. Hinata likes Naruto, and I can't like a girl that likes a Goofy. Dude, I'm glad you're a Kengan fan. Also, Ishiki doesn't care. Doesn't care or doesn't count. Oh, yeah, no. Kengan is probably my most watched fighting anime in life. And I watched Baki before I watched Kengan. And what I mean by most watch is I'm a very habitual anime watcher. But I don't stray, oftentimes I don't stray out of my sphere of comfortable shows. I'll tell you what I watch on a yearly basis. This is not a lie. Hunter x Hunter. These are things I watch like all year round, no matter what. Hunter x Hunter. Bleach. Kengan Ashura. Overlord. Nothing else is as watched as those 4 anime. Nothing else is as watched because they all do something that I just really like. With Kengan, for me, it's the fights and the detail in how these characters approach them, as well as the animation. Ugh, beautiful. With Hunter x Hunter, it's the characters. I really love the characters in Hunter x Hunter, and I really love the dynamics. I really like Nen, too. Nen is great. Also, high IQ fights in Hunter x Hunter. Bleach is a given. It's my favorite series to talk about in scale, and there's always work to be done within Bleach. And what was the last one? Overlord. Overlord is just the GOAT. I don't know what to say. I just like Overlord a lot. But yeah. Hey, what's good? Hey, what's good, Kai? Hey, yo, Kai, where you been, bro? You been MIA for the last couple MIAs. What's up with you though? Hey, I'm here. I couldn't make it last stream because I was watching the leaked Avatar Last Airbender movie. I got the leak. I didn't watch it, not because like I'm trying to be honorable or anything. I really didn't care. Not gonna lie, I really did not care about Avatar. I haven't cared about Avatar since like Korra second season. I really haven't. Pink Diamond might be from Steven Universe. It might actually be a Keke Genkai of his and his delusion. Oh wait, Data has some morality feats in the novel. Okay. Got you. Kaido maybe. Kaido is Kaido evil for evil's sake? Blackbeard. Maybe Blackbeard. Yeah, Blackbeard. I think Blackbeard is a great person to point out. He does what he wants he does what he wants when he wants to, and no one can tell him otherwise. I like that. He killed his own crewmate for a devil. First, he joined the Whitebeard pirates because being with them had the highest chance of finding the devil fruit he wanted. Once they located that devil fruit, he didn't find it. His friend found it. Teach killed his friend, took the fruit, abandoned the crew. Teach is a great example of evil for evil's sake, and I love everything that he does in that show because he's probably the smartest person in that show as far as like strategy and tactics and stuff. Aizen is a douchebag, but he has good intentions. Yes, perfectly said. There's the gang leader in Boruto who was going to eat a child's brain. Okay. I mean, yeah, that works too. Evil for evil's sake. That's some evil shit. Yes. The fact that Seth uses Aizen as his PFP has ruined the character for me inherently. Yeah. Yeah, the McDonald's burger Aizen thing. Yeah, it's like, bro, what are you doing? Stop it. Manipulation feat for Aizen to make someone just be fully dependent on you. Yeah, absolutely. The only other characters I can think of who did that are usually Johan Feats and Hannibal Lecter. Yeah, Aizen is a narcissist with a god complex. I'd have to look into those things and actually do a deep dive on Aizen because I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. And I'll be speaking extemporaneously when I say this and from a place of ignorance, so forgive me. But I think narcissism itself might be misunderstood. But when it comes to characters like Aizen, who has clear motivations, guides, and guiding forces, and he factually is just superior than 99% of the people he runs into, what he's doing could be perceived as narcissism or having a god complex, but it's likely just his mind operating on higher philosophies and principles and stuff like that. I wouldn't say it's narcissism, but one could definitely make the argument. We got Kino in the chat. What's good, Brody? We got Jax in the chat. What's good, Jax? How did I go down? Hold up. Where was I, bro? Okay, yeah, okay, cool. The only other characters, okay, I already read that. Seiga Kaku from Toei Projects is evil as she desires immortality and doesn't care who she has to kill for it. Yes, that's evil. I would say that's evil. He's Light's father. Okay. I was literally typing the Tosin part. So Aizen and Momo are a cheap copy of Joker and Harley. A cheap copy of Joker and Harley? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would actually say Joker and Harley are like, what's it called? They're codependent on each other. Like, in his, like, I'll never say that Joker needs Harley, but he does. Like, he does, but he doesn't. I'll say this. There are more instances of Joker caring for Harley than Aizen caring for Momo. And that's an actual fact because Aizen never cared for Momo. Like that, right? Him doing the mercy killing, you could call that caring for her, but it's coming out of a twisted place, I'll say. It's coming out of a twisted place. So no, I wouldn't say a cheap copy. Yo, me and my friend just finished scaling all of Megami Megami Tensei, and we got it above the CSP tiering system, and we got it above Tier 0 Wiki's tiering system. Interesting. I don't know what that show is, though. I would love to talk about it on my own time. It's been fun. I want to send a doc. Send a doc, because I got lots to say. Okay. But not sure we can see the debate, but still fuck. But sure, we can see the debate, but still fuck having to listen to Noodles and Swag. Rin killed herself. She just used Kakashi saying to do it. Naruto turned 17 during the war arc. Okay, gotcha. Obito never even planned to revive Madara. Kabuto did that. True, but he still planned to do the infinite Tsukiyomi. Was he really finessed, or just that weak of will and conviction? Yeah, and I was using finessed loosely there. Yes, that's what I was using finessed euphemistically. Yes, he was more so weak-willed and not committed to the actual cause that he wanted to. And it's crazy. The boy states multiple times, "Oh, if you think I started this war over Rin, you're wrong." Shut up, stupid. Yes, you did. Stop lying to yourself. You did start the war over Rin, and I can prove it. I'm not going to, but I can prove it. Yes, we can all prove this. Yes, you started the war over Rin. You're not convincing or tricking anyone else but yourself. We know what you started the war over for. Rin is the first person you thought of when you were getting your mind ripped apart by Ten Tails. I'm sorry, you're the picture, but Rin, right? Rin was the first person you ran into when you died. You started the war over Rin. What are you talking about? You literally, the first time you met Kakashi as Obito, really again, you said, because you let Rin die. You're trapped. Stop it. You started the war over Rin, and that's fine. Just don't lie about it, bro. Remember when MGK came at Eminem and the first word on the track was, "Oh my God, Ronnie." I do remember that. That was a good time. Shout out to Eminem, kill shot. I think it was weak in his conviction because his whole fight with Naruto was just Obito projecting. Okay, so you're saying maybe if he didn't fight Naruto, then he would never have actually switched sides. But since he fought Naruto, someone who kind of embodied what Obito's initial ideals were, that kind of caused him to waver. I remember Killshot. I don't remember what MGK said. He died instantly at that moment. He did. I like how Aizen, when reaching his goal, he became really vulnerable. But he never reached his goal. His goal was Soul Society. I mean, the Soul Palace. He never reached it. Although, to be fair, I don't think Obito wanted to revive Madara. Yes, I agree with that. Rize is based. Aizen and Makima, all of Naruto's villains. It depends on how you look at it. Like, if you're one to go for that kind of villainry, I don't mind, right? My gripe is just that there really aren't any evil people for evil's sake. That's all I was looking for within it. That's not to say that the villains aren't good villains. I think they're good villains. They serve their purpose pretty well. I just like a specific type of thing in shows. You know what I mean? Hagoromo should destroy Ichibei. Especially Madara. I hate everything about Madara, bro. Ino deserves someone better than Sai. Oh yeah, absolutely. I love Madara. I like Madara. I like Madara and Obito, bro. Obito is still literally my PFP. I like Obito. He that guy. I just don't like the decisions he made. Big girls are criminally underrated. I'm a total converse. Hey, yo, chill, John, chill. That's hilarious. Useless, you have no utility. I'm keeping this. Yeah, man, what? Who did I say that about? Was that, who did I say that about? I'll have to run it back. But yeah, bro, he ain't got no utilities. He's trash, terrible. Aizen Narutoverse. I like Tsunade, dude. Tsunade, man. Tsunade is the atypical female, bro. There's nothing special. Blonde hair, big breasts. She ain't nothing special, man. I'm loving Kengan. Kengan is that show. Who would take care of Akamaru if Kiba died? Who cares? Let Akamaru die with him. We don't need him. Kiba, yeah, no utility. Absolutely useless. Trash character. It should have been him. Why would we pick Neji of all people, Kishimoto? Why? Who advised this? It literally makes no sense. Makima can't beat everyone in Naruto. Shinigami. At least I don't think so. This Fist of the North Star anime needs to drop CGI before it's too late. I'm talking about in writing, Neo. If you're roasting our list, we need to see yours. Samui is the blonde one from the Cloud Village. Oh, she's the blonde one, so she's not even... Okay, so she's the blonde one.
Bye.
Bye, lady. Love you.
Love you too.
Have fun.
Thanks.
Drive safe. Don't crash my car. Watch out for deer.
Well.
All right. I already gave you my list, first off. My list was Gorin, Tamari, Anko, and the one from the Cloud Village that was putting hands on Sakura. Yep. Oh, and May. That's my top 5. Yep. Kushina ain't bad either, though. Kushina ain't bad either. I like that red hair. You like Hunter x Hunter? Cool. Yeah, no, Hunter x Hunter is fire. Baki and Kengan is amazing. Peak fiction, absolutely. Haven't seen the new season of Baki. I just haven't seen it. There's no urge to see it either. So I'll get around to it. My top 5 anime includes Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Monster, Death Note, and Full Metal Alchemist. I have Full Metal Alchemist as a good anime, something that I would advise people to watch, but not in my top 10. It's really good though, but like not crazy good in my opinion. Death Note is something I would advise for new watchers of anime. Like, hey, if you've never seen anime, watch this one. This will kind of give you like a general good idea of what a good show is if you've never seen anime. I like Death Note. Death Note's really good. Monster is so slow for me. I'm still watching it. I'm on like episode 34. It's just so slow for me, bro. Dr. Tenzin is cool. Johan's cool, but it's just like really slow. Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho is goated, of course. It would have to go into a separate list and tier because I can't put it with Naruto, Bleach, and all that stuff because it's like much older. But on the older side of anime, it's definitely top 5. I have the best counter arguments for Genjutsu working cross-verse, and it wasn't from me. Okay, so what are these counter arguments, Kino? Is it anything that I've said, or is it new information? Avatar is amazing. Avatar's cool. I'm one of the strongest and greatest core defenders on the internet. I bet you are. Only smart thing you said so far, Avatar's peak fiction. That's hilarious. Blackbeard's family was killed, and that started his journey. Oh, damn. Wait, so we got Blackbeard's backstory? Damn, say it ain't so. Jack says, Overlord is so good, and I love all the lore and dark shit that Nazari gets into. Like what they did to all those 8 Fingers guys was so disturbing to me, but I feel they deserved it. Yeah, no. And like, that be the stuff that I be liking about Overlord, bro. They don't hold back. I like the, see, this is what I like about Overlord, I think, right? You would have, if this was like a normal show, you would have Momonga be incarnated or transmigrated to the Overlord world. Oh, I'm sorry, to the, Resties, whatever planet they're on. You would have them be transmigrated there. And if this was a normal show, what would happen is the real person that is Momonga, he would keep his human sensibility and his human emotions and stuff like that. While all the floor guardians and every citizen of Nazari was more so evil, had a negative karma rating, stuff like that. And then he would be battling with that. But that's not what happens. Overlord takes everything that would come with being an undead and they superimpose it literally into the player's psyche. He literally does not care for human life. He could care less. Unless it's a benefit to Nazarick, it's up for you. And I love that. It's dope. He literally cast a spell that killed 70,000 people. Literally said, I'm about to kill 70,000 people. And I feel nothing. What in the fuck? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. What are we talking about? Overlord is goated, bro. I love that stuff. Yes, and you said the 8 Fingers members. Yes, so they had it coming to them, right? And I like the fact that they got people like Norinus Painkill in there. They got people like Kyohuko, the cockroach bull, bro. That's some wicked stuff to have in a you know, in a game, number one, but like in a world too, right? They created Norinus literally as a torturer. That's some sick shit, but I like it because it's like I like the darkness. I like the dark underbelly of stuff, bro. It's cool. Hold up. Okay. I'm loving Red John. Don't know who that is. Man, Seth ain't gonna ruin nobody for me. My top 5 anime. Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not. Johan is a peak villain. Sorry for spoils, but Rox is. I didn't see it. You gonna say sorry for spoilers and then nah, I'm skipping that comment. Sorry, Karma, I'm skipping that comment. Sensui and Makoto Shisui from Rurouni Kenshin are my favorite villains. Oh yeah. Makoto, I like Makoto. He's cool, bro. He's cool. Yeah, no, Rurouni Kenshin was a real good anime, bro. I like that stuff. Okay, cool. I do actually got to get started on the video. Because no one told me not to watch the video. So we'll get started on the video. We got yours truly, Hino Zoro, in the building. How you doing? Excuse me. John the Maven says Kiba is going to be the next Hokage. And on that note, I will drop the series and I will flame the entirety of Naruto until I stop making content. I promise you. I promise you, if Kiba becomes the next anything in office, I will go on a Kiba smear campaign as hard as I went on Sakura, but for longer. I promise you. It will be Kiba versus ants, and the ants will somehow find a way to win. It will be Kiba versus the wind, and he will not get past that. I promise you, it will be bad if Kiba gets any form of success in Boruto, because I do not like him. It should have been him, not Neji. Give us Neji back. John's top 5. Kaguya, Toneri. John Toneri is a man. But hey, if that's how you roll, player, let me stop. Okay, Kaguya, Toneri, Adult Tamari, Yashimaru, Kaguya again. I don't know what this list is, John. If I remember correctly, Yashimaru was Gaara's uncle, right? Because Ainz don't have eternal organs to care. Yeah. These counter arguments are based on what my opponent would say, and I form my response. How would stopping the flow of chakra can break out of Sharingan Genjutsu if Genjutsu injected into the brain? You into the impale motherfuckers, John. You into the impale motherfuckers, Han, John. Who's Yashimaru again? Gaara's caretaker, assassin person? Yeah. Your Ab-Stract made my drawing. Check it out, please. It's one of my villains. Okay. Overlord is something that I like, that pisses me off to a great degree, if that makes sense. Tell me why it pisses you off. It makes sense, but tell me why. John sent it to you as well. Make Kiba versus normal humans. Oh yeah. Kiba's not beating normal humans. He's a normal human himself. What's he gonna do? Karma says absolutely fine to skip. It changes your opinion of him quite a bit. Yeah, it probably would have. LOL. I got so confused by the top 5. John's top 5 is kind of wild. John's gonna have to explain to me. And I'm not laughing because like I'm being rude, but it was just funny because we're talking about women, but then his top 5 had like 2 guys on it, so that was kind of funny. I don't know. Hold up. Oh man. Hey, play. If that's how you roll, that's how you roll. Oh, shit. Okay. Kind of got hot. All right. Okay. I roll in all directions. Hey, more power to you, my brother. More power to you. That's what's up. Okay. Where are we at? Which of my main cast girls do you think is hot? Ab-Stract. Let's real quick before we start. Let me check out what Shikamaru's talking about. Okay. I think the clothes are fire. All right. The teeth and the nose is what's throwing me off here. I think the clothes in the outfit is fire, though. Gray, blue, and yellow. The color coordination actually isn't bad. It's not bad. Got a hint of red, dark skin. If I remember Shinigami, you had a person that reminded me of Jackie Tristan. But they're probably like way, way up. Yeah, see, she's good. She's cute. She's cool. Yeah, you've did some really good characters. Yeah. Very wholesome character. Very nice character. Very good design. I like this one even more. This is fire. Then we got our MC. It looks like he has runes on his thing. We got the pride going on. Looks like a hammer. Can't really tell if that's a hammer or not. Then we got the armor. This looks like female Boba Fett in a way. But yeah. Bro, I wear am I tired of this Zetsu glaze. Kiba becoming Hokage downscales everyone to below human level. Oh, absolutely. I will drag Kiba through his head under the earth and through it like they did Satan, or like Satan did. What did he say? Go walking to and fro the earth? Yeah, I'll do that to Kiba. Zetsu loses to any good manipulation with feats. Man, I'd be here all day listening to things that I like Overlord to pissing me off about. Yeah, we really would be too. You know who I like in Overlord? I like Jerkneef. Jerkneef, Farlord, Elneeks, Jerkneef, Runecrad, Farlord, Elneeks. I don't know his full name. They have the funniest names in One Piece too. Like, what's that serpent's name in season 3? The Serpent of the West, the Giant of the East and the Serpent of the West, something Rariar Spinderu. My name is Ikatao Rariar Spinderu. They have the funniest names in One Piece. But there will be no better name. I keep saying One Piece. Overlord. Scratch everything I just said. Overlord. Not One Piece. They have the funniest names in Overlord. What was I about to say? What was the bull's name? Yes, there's no better name in Overlord than Touch Me. Whoever came up with that is a genius. 2 words. Touch Me. That's fire. That's sexy too, by the way. She got me on that grind. Respect the hustle. Facts. Nirvana Igneo, you missed out. What's the topic? Hey, what's good, Ig? How are you doing, bro? It seems I missed a good portion. We haven't started the video yet, but yes. Kiba Nakamura already scale above most of the Gote. Karibo, you know you can't qualify what you just said. Karibo, you know you just outright lied. Karibo, you know that was a tendentious argument. You know it was. What's throwing you off about the nose? That nose. So I think it was a placement. So it's the placement of the nose in relation to the teeth as well. The teeth, like, it makes her look kind of bucked tooth, if you know what I mean. Like when you ever see like a southerner have like really strong buck teeth protruding from their like mouth. That's what I'm getting from her, and the nose isn't helping basically. Now I'm not an artist, right? But her nose should probably like start around here maybe and then go down. I don't know. I'm not an artist. Just telling you how I would look at it. Boy, oh boy. Karibo proved that. He can't prove that. You know he just lied. Karibo can't prove anything he just said involving Kiba beating anybody in Bleach, let alone the Gote. Especially the Gote, let alone someone like Kuromadani. Yo, Ab-Stract, do you scale 1A 0 tiers? I have a long doc full of scans of me scaling Persona and Megami Tensei. It would be cool if you could cover even at least 10% of it. I gotta stop saying when I begin to talk too. I've been trying to like not do that. So what I'll be doing going forward at least is I'll just pause. I'll simply pause and then I'll answer. No more ums. I don't like ums. Ums are so annoying. And mind you, I don't say them a lot, but like even just starting a sentence, let's not start with Let's compose ourselves, take our times, and then speak. So to your question, do I scale 1A? I don't know what that is actually though. 1A greater than 0 tiers. I'm not familiar enough with those tiers to elaborate on it, honestly. I've said this before. I really don't favor power scaling series that are too strong. I'm not gonna lie. If they're too strong, then it's not fun for me because then at that point we're just arguing true hypotheticals like, oh, if my character is star level and yours is galaxy, or if my character is 5D and yours is 11D, I don't care to have the conversation at that point. Cool, you got it, bro. But no, I'm not doing that. But looking over your doc, I can absolutely look over your doc if you'd like me to. You can either send it to me on Discord or you can send it to my email address. Just say who you are for either one so I know for sure that, it's you. But yeah, I wouldn't mind looking at it and reviewing it. Even though I don't like scale it, I can still give my opinion in 2 cents. So absolutely, you can send it over. And we got Luna Ursa in the chat. What's good, love? Change my mind, chat. Luna Ursa. Could I possibly be able to send that doc to your Discord? Oh, absolutely. Do you have my Discord Kino? I don't know if you have my Discord Kino. You might. But yeah. If One Piece is so good, how come we never get 2 Piece? John is a comedian, bro. If One Piece is so good, how come we never get 2 Piece? That's hilarious. Answer that, atheists. Gonna have to change that shit. I have code at island level durability as a highball. Code? Island level? Island level as a highball? That's a pretty high ball. I'm picturing Kiba like the looking up meme when he has to split Gremmy's meteor. Why are we starting him off with Gremmy's meteor? Have him survive Eterard's punch. Have him survive that. Yeah, nah, bro, you're right. The nose is too high up. Okay, gotcha. Screen be glitchy. I think it's having a heart attack. Hopefully not. You don't say them too much, in my opinion. Oh, I appreciate that, bro. Yeah. I don't think I do either. It's really just like, for example, when I read his thing, the for me is more of a I'm thinking, but instead of doing that, I'll just think. You know what I mean? So when I was like, let me read his thing again. He said, yo, Ab-Stract, do you scale 1A through 0 tiers? I have a long doc and all this other things. No, I don't scale that. You know what I mean? No, I don't scale that. Even if it takes a little bit longer to respond, I feel like the is just more unprofessional and less sure, honestly. So I'll, just be keeping that in mind. But I appreciate you, John. Why island level code, Igneo? Which of the Gote can replicate Puppy Akamaru's feat of spinning through a massive cliff with nothing but their physicals? I don't know if you're being serious. I don't know if you're trolling. Or I don't know if you truly believe that's something that these people can't replicate. Like, I really don't know how to approach that question. That's the funny thing about me too. I be expecting people. No, I'm not even gonna get into it. It's okay. It's okay. I'd rather hear you say Ab-Stract than hear you say then say 52 times in one sentence. I can agree to that. I be watching debates sometimes, and it's like, are you not self-conscious of how many times you've said like? And it'd be like, it'd be like that, and I'd be like that. I don't like that. I do not like that. That's not fun. Okay, I do not have your Discord. All right. My Discord is, I think it's like Ab-Stract 157 or something like that. Where is my Discord, first off? I need to start having my Discord pinned when I start streams, just in case anyone wants it, because I never really like remember it. Ab-Stract 1570. Oh, I was correct. Okay. Okay. Whoa, what was that? Okay. I've been annoyed with people saying like after every word, every syllable in a sentence since early 2010s. Yeah. The Gote 13 includes Yamamoto, doesn't it? He's superior to that. Karibo is just like crazy, bro. Also count Tenere moon cutting feat, which gets to multi-continental, but Kissium plus Sage Mode Naruto only took city level amount of the full attack. Cold durability only comes from Uzihiko. But the question is, where does Uzihiko's AP come from? That's where I get his durability feat. Thank you, Igna, for putting a level to that mooncutting feat. Good job, Ig. I appreciate you going out your way to scale that. Right? I appreciate you going out your way to scale that. Because people will come on here and make claims, and then when asked like where are you getting the numbers from and stuff like that, they won't provide anything. And it's like, well, okay, like why'd you posit that, or why'd you put it forth if you didn't have anything to back it up, or like, you know. So yeah, appreciate that. I speak too fast to notice how many times I say like. That can happen. Hey, my brain be racing too fast. That's why, like, if you guys have ever seen me on stream and I'll get into like stutter stunts and I'll sometimes stun lock myself, it's because my damn brain has said everything my mouth wants to say, but my mouth actually can't keep up. So when my mouth doesn't keep up fast enough, what I believe happens is I intentionally have to slow down in my head, but then my mouth has to catch up to what's being said. But since it's like so far behind, I'm thinking over here, but my mouth is still saying what's over here. And sometimes I'll be like, I gotta stop. I'm like, okay, let's bring it in. Let's calm down. This, that, and the third. This is what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it. So yeah, that should be funny to me though, because I be thinking like, okay, cool, calm down, one step at a time. There's no reason to rush. Just get it out. I added you. I'm CRMY999. Got you. Perfect. Ichigo and Aizen were literally blowing stuff up with air pressure from swinging their swords. No contact, just air pressure. Guys, when Karibo be trolling like this, we don't gotta engage. Until Karibo says something meaningful and something that he can actually back up, we don't gotta engage with that stuff. All respect to you though, Karibo. You know what I mean? Because I do appreciate the input, but sometimes I don't know if it's worth it to have the conversation. Like, you just compared Kiba to the Gote 13. That's insanity. It's disrespectful and it's crazy. I wouldn't take the conversation seriously. I really wouldn't. You were right. I like how those nose look. Okay, gotcha. Karibo cracking a meteor is better than anything we've seen Akamaru do, bro. You think Kenpachi versus Akamaru is close? He thinks Aizen versus Akamaru is close. He thinks Rayo versus Akamaru, Adunias versus Akamaru is close. I'll engage in every Karibo troll argument. And I respect that too. Yeah, I respect that too. Because even if you're trolling, we can't let those trolls go unanswered sometimes. So I respect that too. Ichigo mountain busting feat, all of Naruto feats put together. Sadly, yeah. All right. Let's get into it, guys. It's 2:19. Let's see what Swagkage and Noodles are talking about. Let's see what Swagkage and Noodles are talking about. Volume check, volume check, volume check. How's the volume, guys?
You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready for many. From passion projects to enterprise-grade systems. Everything is built in and ready to launch.
Is this what people call rage
It's a
bait?
new
That's
world
fine.
of
Oh, yeah.
creation, where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality right now.
You on prep? If not, QCare's got you.
At QCare Plus, prep is for everyone and for every type of body.
You sign up online, do a quick telehealth visit, and your prescription is delivered directly to you.
Because everyone deserves to feel protected and supported.
That's too loud.
At QCare,
Is it like
you're not
I'm
just
too
a
loud?
number, but you're an individual.
Click the link below. QCare's got you
Video
covered.
is way louder than you. Really? Interesting. All right, hold up.
It's
Maybe it's because I can control my volume universally or something like that. What is it? Advanced audio properties. Desktop. Okay, let's try this one. Let's go back. Let's go back like 5 minutes, and you guys tell me if the volume's okay.
Time to hit him in that time frame, though.
So you're saying he misplayed by hitting the Naraka when the reason could have been that he didn't have enough time to hit Tendo.
I can tell you why he picked the Naraka path.
It was because he didn't want it to revive Tendo,
Kutsuyu specifically told him that he should get rid of that path because it's reviving the others. So I actually think that's a misplay though.
How's that,
like
guys?
You said, it's not really the combat path. So like, what's funny is like if he would have just like they were right next to each other, so there was nothing stopping his clone from just double Rasenganing the fuck out of Tendo.
I don't want to get fucking like bogged down in speed again. So we're saying that Itachi fucking shoots Amaterasu at
He can focus.
How's the volume? How's the volume, you guys? The volume is okay, but it could be 5 more notches higher, maybe. Okay. Let's see what we can do. This is why I need to switch to StreamYard. I think StreamYard will be much better. Okay, let's do... Volume is good now. The volume is better. Okay. Kino needs it a little bit higher. So I can do this. Let me see. Balance. I'm trying to think. Because all my volume is high. Yeah, my volume is high here. It's high on the YouTube. If I change... Well, let me do this. Let me unmute this one. But I can't control the desktop audio for some reason. Okay, cool. Well, you know, we'll mute this one and we'll just focus on the audio capture. It's fine for you? Okay. I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit louder for our boy Kino. It's 100. Let's try 200 decibels. Okay. Let me know how this is.
It's at the speed of light.
He shoots Amaterasu at the fucking Tendo, and Tendo blows it away. Then what I would just say is Preda comes in and absorbs it. Yeah, Preda comes in and absorbs it, right? So this doesn't really move the needle at all. No, this doesn't, because we're just
I'll
stuck
say
on the
this,
same
there's no
as
proof
Preda
that
comes in
that
and
other path could get in the way at light speed. There's no proof of that.
The Rasenshuriken runs alongside Laser Circus.
You mean the KCM Rasenshuriken, the one that's stated to be stronger than?
How's that? How's the volume? Ba-dum-bum-bum, the phone is ringing. Perfect. It's fine for me. It's good now. Excellent. Let's get it. And I have... Alright, hey Kino, you got the freakiest Discord I've ever seen. Don't know if I should share it on live, but that is the freakiest Discord name I've ever seen. It's also kind of funny, so I'll look the other way for now. Okay, let's get into it. I don't even remember what's being debated, so we'll pick it up as we're going along.
When he fought Pain?
Well, the thing about that is you said that the Rasenshuriken doesn't scale to the user.
I said it's not provably scaling to the user.
No, but if
if
it doesn't scale to the user, it's at least light speed because it travels.
There's no proof that it didn't get faster too, though. Why wouldn't, like, if his base physicals, like,
this is so ass, bro. Nah, this is ratty.
No, it's not ratty. It's just true.
So okay, you're saying it doesn't scale to the user, and then because Naruto got faster and stronger, the Rasenshuriken got faster and stronger.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive. Like those two things are. No, those two things can happen at the same time. Like both Naruto and the Rasenshuriken got faster, and it still doesn't scale even after it got faster. Naruto also is getting faster. His physical speed is getting faster. So that means they're like both, like the Rasenshuriken is below his speed when he's fighting in Sage mode, right? It can still be below his speed when he's fighting in KCM, but still faster than the previous moment when he throws it at Pain in Sage mode. That's totally possible. In fact, that is what's happening.
No, you have to prove that.
I just did. Stated that he's stronger than he fought Pain. Hey, I'll give you a new argument.
And you just argued that the Rasenshuriken doesn't.
You want a new argument for why it's faster?
ChatGPT, what's a future-proof business in 2025?
A future-proof business.
Naruto is stated to have got stronger, and he's also moving at the fastest he ever did because he did specific training to increase his travel speed to get on Minato's level, which he wasn't previously. And then he finally gets this insane travel
speed of the Rasenshuriken that doesn't scale.
Because you were arguing earlier that he throws it, so it scales to his physical speed.
I was arguing that, but you
by your logic, it should be faster too.
But you were arguing that it doesn't scale to him, so I am referencing your argument back at you.
Well, hold on.
I'm just telling you to stay consistent.
It doesn't matter if you reference my argument. From your perspective, you would agree.
No.
You don't want to talk about your perspective?
No, I do. But what I'm wait, are you conceding? Are you conceding the point or not?
All I said was when we were talking about the previous one, there's no proof that it moves at the same speed.
So, do you think that it scales to Naruto or not?
I don't think it scales to Naruto. There's no proof of it.
Okay,
so why would I think it?
Be the same, so then it's the fucking same.
I don't think it scales to Naruto and KCM either.
You don't see how you're folding right now? It moves alongside Laser Circus when KCM Naruto throws it. Why is it faster though? If it doesn't scale to Naruto, why is Naruto getting faster?
I think his throw speed is relevant. I never said that his throw speed wasn't relevant. What I said was his throw speed can be slower than his other kinds of speed, like his combat speed. That was the reason I brought up his taijutsu speed earlier. I think taijutsu speed can totally be faster than your throw speed. But the fact is, his throw speed is still being amplified by the KCM cloak, so it would be moving faster by your same argument. And it doesn't go against my argument because I never said that the throw speed didn't matter. I did say it mattered. No, I never said the throw speed didn't matter, so it doesn't go against my argument. It doesn't it doesn't. Like, I never once stated that his throwing strength or his pitching ability does not matter. It does matter, but the fact is, I'm questioning whether his pitching speed is the equivalent to his taijutsu speed.
I'm just saying that you're contradicting yourself.
Man, oh man. There's a lot in there because there's a lot of factors to actually consider with that. When we say his pitching speed is not scaling to Naruto. Like when we say the Rasenshuriken doesn't scale to Naruto, on one level we have that Naruto. Okay, cool. Well, Naruto is less durable than the Rasenshuriken, right? That's one thing. But then when we get to his pitching speed versus the speed that the Rasenshuriken actually travels when thrown, versus Naruto throwing a punch or a kick, I don't know how we would determine exactly which one's faster, because because his pitching speed should actually be somewhat relative. Maybe if you're factoring the weight of the Rasenshuriken, it should be somewhat relative to his combat speed. But then the Rasenshuriken should also travel a greater distance based on Naruto wanting to throw it instead of running up and hitting pain with it. He threw it because he thought it would be faster. At least is what I would be probably saying. So, this is an annoying point to argue for both sides. That is, I don't know how relevant it is to the conversation, and I still haven't heard the actual. I haven't seen the creme de la creme, or I haven't seen the penultimate of this argument. What is this leading up to where we've been talking about it? Because I remember we were going over this for like 45. No. The Rasenshuriken argument is like from the first hour of the first video. So this is an old argument. So they've been roughly arguing the Rasenshuriken for an hour and a half to 2 hours now. What is the significance in this thing scaling to Naruto or not? How does this, of all things, make or break the conversation of Pain versus Itachi? How, bro? I really don't understand. Hopefully we get an answer, but I really don't think we will. Even after this is settled on or moved, I don't think we'll get an answer of why the Rasenshuriken needed to necessarily scale to Naruto or not. I have no idea how either one of them are going to link this to their scaling of their respective characters. Shout out to Grid. We got Grid in the chat. What's good, Brody? They sound unhinged and pathetic. This argument perfectly summarizes the problem with the whole debate. Noodles makes a terrible argument. Swag struggles to counter it. Noodles correctly points out the failed counter. Swag relents. Yeah. Noodles declares himself the victor without ever actually proving anything. I completely forgot what this was about. Yeah, no, same. And it's fine, right? This isn't really meant to be score to track. It was initially, but they went so far left that I'm like, I don't even care. Let me just point out the arguments that I'm hearing. Ig says, scroll up, please, to when I said, so I figured out, I explained how I got Code Dora to island level at best. Oh, did I miss that part? Let me see. Okay, so I figured out how much energy the planet makes within 24 hours, and it gets to large country level, 6% to continental. So I find the energy it generates within 10 seconds, which gets to island level. Okay. Okay. All right. How much energy the planet makes within 24 hours? It gets this country level, 6% to continental. So I find the energy it generates within 10 seconds, which gets it to island level. Okay. The issue though is still none of these are like processes for deriving AP though at all. Finding energy this way is, or not finding energy this way. You can find the energy, and also finding how much energy the planet generates is also kind of somewhat interesting in itself. But accurately finding an AP value just based off of how much energy the planet generates, I don't think you can get accurate numbers for that. And everything's not going to be a one-to-one. Everything's not going to be a one-to-one. The Naruto planet apparently is 2.5 times bigger than ours, so I guess that may play into it to some way, but not real. I mean, it'd play into it to the energy side of things, but not the AP side of things. And then you got Boruto himself, which is the conduit of that energy. Kind of. Yeah, kind of. His feet have to be connected to the ground. He's channeling the planet's energy, and he's putting that energy into somebody. Then Ig says, if you also add into orbit, then its kinetic energy gets the planetary in 1 day, 24 hours, which will make Uzihiko country level of it charged up 10 seconds, which is extreme highball. So, like, how would we... So, there's so many things going on with that, Ig. I wouldn't even, like, consider... Like, all right, so the planet generates a certain amount of energy. Cool. How would you know how much energy Boruto is generating from the planet? Where would we be getting that from? And then where would we be getting the AP derived from that? Because figuring out how the planet spins and how much energy that generates, that's cool. How much energy is Boruto himself siphoning from that planet? And then how are you converting that into an actual AP attack when there's nothing shown? When there's no destruction values, there's no calcs, there's no DC done. Where are we getting it from? But yeah, I get you. All you physicists that claim to be power scalers. I'm not a physicist. Like shit though, that's hilarious. What if Japan made an Overlord adult Happy Meal, toys, and accessories of Overlord? I don't eat McDonald's, but I'd buy the toys as collectibles. It's because of how Uzihiko works. Burger King creates a teen's meal of Tensei. That'd be funny. Yeah, I mean, I get how Uzihiko works. He's channeling the planet's power, right? But why would he be channeling as much energy as the planet is channeling just because he's standing on the planet and gathering its energy? There's no way to tell how much energy he's actually gathering from the planet. It's just the planet's chakra, quote unquote. And we know it's not really chakra, but he calls it chakra, so he's saying it's like a revenge attack from the planet. It's based on how long he absorbs the energy, LOL. If he stands for 24 hours, Uziko... Yeah, see, like, that's a gross assumption. Why would... So, like, you're not telling me exactly... So, the planet can spin for 24 hours and generate a planet's worth of chakra. Sure, let's do that. Why or what is telling you that when Boruto stands on the planet and performs Uzihiko, that he's also generating, siphoning, stealing, or creating that same amount of energy that the planet is creating just because he's on the planet? And what proof do you have to say he's actually doing it? How Uzihiko functions is not an answer. That's not an answer. Or that's not an accurate answer. Although I would actually say it's not an answer at all. Ichigo Happy Meals. The Uzihiko uses various planetary forces, the orbit revolution and others. It would be hard to pin down the exact amount of energy Boruto has compressed. Exactly. And it's not even a compressive thing because it's not really. I don't want to say it's not an attack that doesn't have. It's not. I don't want to say it's an attack that doesn't have AP. But can someone show me the Uzihiko's AP equivalent? Can someone show me that? I'd like to see it. Did Code cough up blood? Do we know if it did damage to him internally? I would surmise it did, but we can't just put an arbitrary number on it because the planet rotates and he's on the planet, and because it rotates, he's somehow siphoning the energy of the planet. That does not make sense. That literally doesn't make sense. Like, I'm sorry. When you, like, if you were to just think about it, oh, A to B, the planet rotates, he's staying on the planet, Uzihiko takes energy from the planet does this much energy in a certain amount of time. A to B, it makes sense, but when you break it down and think about it, like, well, okay, cool, the planet rotates, cool, that's a fact. Its rotation generates energy, cool, that's a fact. Uzihiko is a technique from a ninja, which uses fucking magic, basically. Okay, so then the question is, how much power is this technique from magic generating from the planet? And why should we assume it's the same amount of energy that the planet generates in the same time frame? It just really wouldn't make sense. Anyways, let's get back to it.
I just explained how that's not the case, though.
No, you said the reason why the Rasenshuriken would be faster is because Naruto said he got stronger, but if it doesn't scale to him, it doesn't matter.
I know. I said I don't think it scales to him because there's no proof
Then
that
Naruto being stronger is completely irrelevant, and you can't prove that the Rasenshuriken is any faster. We can just assume that it's the same speed.
Real quick, what I'm saying is you can't just assume it's the same speed. That is a horrible assumption because he's got faster. So you can't say his pitching speed is the same. I never once said in this whole debate, and chat can quote me on this. Anybody in this chat or in this text or this arena VC right now can quote this if they want to. I never once stated that his pitch speed was not relevant. I didn't say that. What I said is that his taijutsu speed could be faster than his Rasenshuriken.
I feel like we're just arguing in circles at this point. I feel
like that argument. That argument would take a lot to that argument would take a lot to figure. Honestly, it would take a lot to figure. Does me, like, if I were to throw a baseball and then also throw a punch, or if I'm standing straight still and I have to throw a straight punch versus like a machine or something shooting out a baseball, the baseball shot out should cover more, like if we go at the same time, the baseball being shot out and starting at the same place should cover a further distance than my hand can reach in the same time frame. Right? That's one way you could look at it. But then the bigger question is for Naruto and anime and manga, how would you actually prove that without more and better examples? How would you actually prove that? It's like a terrible debate topic. It really is.
We're not. You just realizing that I'm right on this.
No. I'm not. No, I'm. Oh my God, no. That's.
Let me explain it.
No. I'm just gonna say the same thing back to you.
Well, if you say the same thing back, then you're doing ad nauseum. You don't actually have a proper counter argument. Like I don't feel like you actually understand what I'm saying. I'm saying that this.
This is funny because I've dealt with that before. If someone posits a position or an argument, and then you give your rebuttal. They give their rebuttal, but then your rebuttal still the rebuttal you gave still encompasses the shit that they said. It's like, hold up. I don't know how many times I have to say it like this or this way, but this is my answer. Oh, ad nauseum. Is that supposed to make me stop saying the truth or saying what I feel or saying what I think or saying how I'm arguing? Unless you can definitively prove what I'm arguing is incorrect or doesn't address what you're saying, it should hold up. It should stand. In fact, it would be up to you to get around why it's being repeated. And I'm not saying repeating it ignorantly or repeating it to the point of, I just didn't. See, I was just about to think. Caught myself. We got to get out of that. When you watch this back on cam, don't do that shit again. I'm not saying, repeat the argument to the point. Repeat the argument to the point where you're just being disingenuous. I'm saying have an actual argument, and if the argument is still in line with what is being argued from your opponent, and it's in line, it's not disingenuous, not nothing, and it's correct, use that fucking argument. Use it. I don't have a problem with what Swag is doing because Noodles hasn't found a way to get around it.
Pitch speed, like you understand the pitch speed is relevant, right? Like I agree that the pitch speed is relevant. Do you agree that his pitch speed is relevant for the Rasenshuriken?
Wait,
like how fast he can pitch the Rasenshuriken? Like, do you agree that's relevant? Because you argued it earlier. I agree it's relevant.
No, you actually did say it wasn't relevant earlier. You said that his throwing strength. No, you did. I'm pretty sure you did say that the throwing strength that was not.
I said it's not equivalent to his taijutsu speed or his other combat speed.
So in like. How would Noodles prove this, though? You can make the position, but what I just did with the whole baseball being shot out versus my doing a straight punch, the baseball shot out, depending on how it's being shot out and who's doing it or whatever, it might cover a further distance than my hand extends at the same time. Like the baseball could be here, my fist could be here, and then that would mean the baseball actually traveled further or has a higher speed than my combat speed. That actually would mean that. And then we have to understand that combat speed is actually kind of continuous. So you're throwing punches and kicks and moving and all this stuff continuously versus the item going in a straight line. So how about this? Instead of punching and kicking speed, what's Naruto's A to B combat speed? Because that's what actually is more relevant. If his A to B combat speed is slower than the Rasenshuriken, then sure, he doesn't scale to it. If his A to B combat speed is relative to it, then that would mean he would scale to it. That's what they should probably be focusing on anyway, but you know.
Pretty sure you said it.
Oh, hold up. Ig replied. Grid says, Noodles isn't even talking in opinion here. He's just saying could to avoid having to prove a hard stance while using the basis of that stance to hold his whole argument up. Exactly. Yeah, exactly true. Ig says he isn't doing anything All he does is stand on a planet for the jutsu to charge up. It's the bare minimum energy value being directly connected to the planet's movement, and once he lands, it stops. Excuse me, None of that tells us anything. None of that answers the questions that I asked, though, Ig. Nothing you just said answers the questions that I had. You said he isn't doing anything. All he is doing is staying on the planet for the jutsu to charge up. Cool. We understand that the jutsu needs to charge up. I'm trying to understand why you would think that its charging rate is the same as how the planet is spinning. Or the same value at which the planet spins and generates energy is Uzuhiko's charging rate. Where are you getting that from? It's not a bare minimum either. It's just an assumption. It's not a bare minimum that because the planet generates this much, and I don't know how much Boruto generates with Uzuhiko, so we're just going to give him the bare minimum of the planet. Where are you getting that from? What's the connection? What's the link? What's the link, really? What if he's only getting 0.5% of the planet's spin? What if he's only getting that much? How would you know? You wouldn't know, actually. There's no way you could determine it because we don't have any concrete numbers for Boruto. We don't have any feats of Uzuhiko actually doing anything aside from causing delirium or whatever he was experiencing. For the jutsu to charge up, it's the bare minimum of energy value being directly connected to the planet's movement, and once he lands, it stops. Yeah, but see, again, none of this actually tells us anything about the attack. Karma says, when people are less serious about it, like Seth saying he could beat Ichigo by blowing up the planet because Ichigo would starve rather than go down from the blast. Ichigo would starve? He could beat Ichigo by blowing up the planet because Ichigo would starve rather than go down from the blast. Oh, okay, I see. He would starve due to lack of oxygen instead of going down from the blast. I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, that's terrible. I like when people are okay. Grid says if there's no hard evidence either way, rationally, the Rasenshuriken should be innately assumed to be faster just based on the real life body mechanics. I agree, and that's what we brought up last stream about just throwing things in general. Usually, the thing that you throw is going to be faster than you actually moving. This is extremely consistent in Naruto. They normally throw things faster than they can move all the time. Normally, at least. Ig says, I always say or when I go off the top of the dome. Yes, but we got to stop doing that if we want to be seen or taken as professional, I would say at least. Nothing wrong with it necessarily. But if you catch yourself doing it a lot and in quick succession, read more books. John says, Noodles is arguing well in bad faith. Swag is arguing badly in good faith. That's hilarious and a perfect way to put it, actually. Really good way to put it. Okay, let's get back to it.
Relevant, but what I'm highlighting.
Let's hypothetically say it then. Let's say I didn't say that earlier. Let's say I didn't say that just because we don't have the recording on hand. Wait. I just want to progress the argument. If we can't progress the argument, if we're just going to beef about what was said and what wasn't said, the recording will tell if I said it or not. What I'm going to say to you is, though, if I didn't say that the pitch speed wasn't irrelevant, listen,
thing to say, I know because it's really important whether or not
I know it's important, but the recording will tell that. People will be able to see this in recording, and I'll even, if you want, I will go back and timestamp. That moment when this was talked about. Okay. So what I said was in that moment, and I remember it clear as day, I said combat speed can be different than his Rasenshuriken speed. That's what I was arguing. And by Rasenshuriken speed, I'm talking about his pitch speed of the Rasenshuriken. His pitch speed can be enhanced by the Caesium cloak. It's still his physical speed. It's just not inherently scaling to his taijutsu speed or some other kind of travel speed, it's not inherently relevant to that. Do you agree that that could be the case?
Yeah, sure,
okay.
I guess.
Okay, so if you agree that's the case, then it's a fact that if as long as I didn't say that earlier, it is a fact that this Rasenshuriken...
Noodles is slick, man. That boy, oil and water. He a politician. He said, do you agree that that could be the case? So I'm like, I mean, yeah. Okay, cool. Since that is the case, come on, bro. No. Anything could be the case, but we're talking things we can prove, necessary truths that are the case. Boy, oh boy.
Is being amped and does not scale the light speed in the pain arc. If I didn't say that earlier, basically.
Okay, what is your scaling for light speed? I mean, I don't even think we need to do this cross-verse
There's a couple
shit.
things.
I think that we need to do like the inverse shit is. But okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me. Yeah,
this
so
is all
go ahead and give me the light speed Itachi arguments.
There's a couple things. So firstly, he reacts to the Kirin, which is stated to be light speed.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete sight in just a single prompt with Wick's Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Or Vibe.
He blocks it point blank while near dead and also blind.
He reacts to it, but that's not the same as... Why would his Amaterasu be light speed?
His Amaterasu is based on his reaction speed. Wherever his eyes focus is where the Amaterasu appears. So
yeah, but
he can focus on pain at light speed.
Following your logic from earlier, the Amaterasu might not be as fast as he is. And it definitely might not be as fast as his reaction speed.
Do you think that the Amaterasu doesn't change speeds?
What do you mean?
So is it relevant to his speed or not? Like, do you think the Amaterasu has its own level of speed? Like, it never changes throughout the series? Or do you think it scales to the user?
It might, because Sasuke is able to move out of the way.
Which one do you think it is?
I don't think that that's necessarily, like, relevant, right? I think
you're
that
arguing it, so it has to be relevant.
No, I'm telling you that what your perspective on this is what's important, because you were saying earlier that the Rasenshuriken doesn't scale to Naruto speed, and I'm saying that if that's the case, then the Amaterasu doesn't necessarily scale to Itachi
I understand you're saying it doesn't necessarily scale. What I'm asking you is
based on
your
what
opinion.
You
do you think
earlier.
It's because you said earlier? Yeah, I know based on what I said earlier, but what you said earlier was that the Amaterasu could have been faster as an Edo.
Yeah.
So is it faster or no?
Yeah, it could be faster when Itachi's Edo.
It could be faster.
Yes, it could be.
You said it was faster.
No. I said it could be. I never said that it was. I said that it could be.
We'll fact check that later. But either way,
you said it was faster.
So it could scale. It might not scale. So I'll give an instance for both things, right? If it does scale the Itachi speed, because like all that it's.
I'm also wondering why Swag didn't push back on the Kitten thing. Are we going to act like Itachi didn't see a lightning dragon forming in the sky? Are we going to act like that didn't happen? Do we not want to say he was aim dodging in the form of pre-blocking with his Susanoo, even though we couldn't see it? And of course, he takes some damage because the entire platform is destroyed, and the Susanoo doesn't protect entirely, but there's no way to tell or say or argue that the thing was manifested before or after the lightning struck. There's no way to actually argue that. Because if it struck immediately and he didn't have it up, he would have died. But if he had it up and the platform was destroyed, that's actually in line with the damage that he took at the very least. So I'm a little like... And then Swag said we didn't need to do this inverse shit, but he's trying to get an argument for Lightspeed Itachi anyway. I don't know.
Stated requires from Zetsu, like Black Zetsu says this while he's monologuing to himself, and Black Zetsu is like one of the smartest characters in the series. So what he says is all that needs to happen is as Itachi's eyes just have to focus on pain, and the flames will appear. Itachi's focus is light speed. It is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
But why does the Amaterasu... Because Sasuke moves out of the way, right?
It says it activates based on Itachi's focus. What do you mean Sasuke moves out the way? Itachi wasn't trying to actually kill him.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. No. You're right. You're right. You got me on that. For a second, I forgot that Itachi was fucking nerfing himself fighting Sasuke. But I have something else to say, right? Like, I can get pain over light speed.
Well, okay, you can get pain over light speed, but real quick, before we get to that scaling.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Okay, well, I guess that is kind of you agreeing. So, get pain to light speed. Yeah, go ahead.
Water bullet from part 1 is light speed, right?
You mean Itachi's water bullet?
Yeah, Itachi's water fang bullet, right? Yeah.
I'm not for sure.
Why Kakashi reactions to pain scales to Kakashi.
Right? I don't remember.
Let me look up
Water.
Why did Noodles even start with Kitten if the water bullet exists? And they both know it exists because they both use the data books. Why not just start with the water bullet that Kakashi reacted to that's light speed and just upskill everyone from there? I don't understand.
Fang, bullet, light speed. Yeah, the data book goes as far as calling Itachi's water fang bullet light speed. I was looking through this shit. Bullets at the speed of light, which Kakashi reacts to, and then Pain reacts to Kakashi. So,
what did he react to it with?
He reacted with his own water attack, and Raikiri makes him faster.
Oh, you mean in the fight that Itachi's holding back in?
Okay.
It wouldn't matter if he's holding back because all we have to qualify is light speed. That's all we have to qualify. And you can't say he's... So we get a jutsu data book description of it being... Are you saying the data book is wrong and it's not light speed? Or are you arguing that Itachi wouldn't be using the full power of the attack? Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. We either get that the jutsu is light speed and he used it at light speed, or it's not light speed and he wasn't using it at light speed. Or no, it's not light speed at all.
This picture that I just sent, right?
You mean the fight?
No. Let me finish. This picture that I just sent, right? The one. Are you looking at it on stream?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
From the water, bullets at the speed of light, and then it shows that picture. So we can assume that in this picture the bullets are coming at light speed.
No, I don't think that at all. What I think it's actually saying is I don't because he's holding back, and he's not.
He can be holding back, and the bullets can be coming out at the speed of light. This is the only time it's ever been shown.
So you think he's faster than the speed of light, then?
Sure, unquantifiably, whatever.
Okay, so can you prove that
Itachi is also faster than light?
Okay, hold on. Firstly,
Kakashi is also faster than light because he reacts to it.
Hold on, no, he wouldn't.
It's so crazy. They say these faster than light statements with like no second guessing. They just say it like it's natural. They don't have a second thought about what they're if what they're saying is actually true and makes sense. Oh yeah, he's faster than light. Oh yeah. This technique faster than light. They're faster than light. They don't even think about it. It's become second nature. It's so ingrained in them. That it's now a part of their ideology. Their very mind that these characters are faster than light. That's some scary shit, bro.
Saying is like Itachi is faster.
Like you would think one would. No, you wouldn't. My fault. You wouldn't. I'm applying my standards, not even AAA scaling standards, mind you. I didn't think like this even before I knew AAA standing standards.
Vaguely, right? Based on this,
sure.
And then, that. Okay, that's all I needed for that. Anyway, what I was saying is there's no proof that this
also vaguely faster than light.
I don't think so because I don't think there's any proof that he's actually sending this at its full speed. This is talking about the water bullet jutsu at its full power, and easily could be talking about that. What proves that he's actually? Because there's multiple things that says Itachi didn't want to.
Okay, so then all Swag has to do is find a scan that says fodder Anbu using attack at light speed, and they would scale below Pain. Man.
I think that there's just no reason to put in the data book that it's the speed of light if Itachi's not using it at the speed of light here.
That's saying at its full power, it could be the speed of light.
Okay, so then here's the thing. Itachi was holding himself back when he used water bullet at the speed of light, so therefore it's not the speed of light. Sasuke was using a chakra-based lightning-style jutsu that was also set at the speed of light, but he had no chakra. How are you going to prove that was the speed of light? Is it because it said it's a light speed attack? And by that same logic, since he's out of chakra, but it's saying it's a light speed attack in the data book, could we also not just say Itachi's is a light speed attack since it says it in the data book? Is that not fair?
No, it doesn't say it could be. It says it's launched at the speed of light.
I said it could be.
No, but it says like declaratively that it's being launched.
It's not talking about the instance.
No, this is ratty, bro.
It's not saying it's coming. It's saying it's coming from a blind spot.
I'm folding my arms and shaking my head.
Okay, well, it's saying it's coming from a blind spot to bore the enemy. He's attacking Kakashi in front of his face in this instance. There's no blind spot.
Can you please open that picture and look very closely at how it's coming from behind him too?
What's coming from behind him?
The fuck.
There's a new AI business model quietly replacing dropshipping. It uses AI to find what's already selling, builds a store for you, and makes ads for you.
Oh, you're talking about the other
way.
I see what you're saying. I didn't notice the other ones. I thought I only saw the one that Itachi was. Could you guys show me the translation of this? Can we actually get the translation?
02 just said it says speed of light.
Okay, speed of light. Perfect. That's all I needed to know, just in case it wasn't actually light speed. Yeah. Either way, I don't think it necessarily has to be at full power. You're assuming that. That's it.
It's the only time that the ability has been demonstrated.
We've seen it used in other sentences. Hozoki. What's that one mist guy's name? He uses water bullet.
No, Itachi's the only listed user.
This is in the first data book before that guy even.
That's not even the same technique. Itachi's attack literally comes from the water itself. Water bullet from the Hozuki style comes from their fingertips. Why would we even say that's the same technique? Is he insinuating that fodder Hozuki style members can do light speed attacks as well? I mean, why not? The Ambu who are fodder can do light speed attacks. Mifune's samurai and Mifune himself can do light speed sword slashes. So why not? I mean, right?
Existed in the second data book. That guy didn't even exist.
What other mist guy?
The one with the clam. He uses water bullet. Remember him? He was like about to like execute a Noki with it and got saved by Gaara.
Yeah, so it would be at the speed of light then too, because he's in the war.
Well, yeah, that was Hozoki though, or whatever his name is.
Hozoki.
Gengetsu has Gengetsu.
Right, but what I'm saying is here, this was the only demonstrated use of it at the time.
Yeah, but it's not full power.
Then why wouldn't Itachi just use a non-light speed jutsu?
Why would Kirin be full power? Oh, because Sasuke's gonna kill him. Sasuke had no chakra. Oh, it doesn't use chakra. You tell me the last time you've seen a lightning take the form of a dragon.
Because he doesn't want to kill Kakashi.
No, I'm saying why wouldn't Itachi just?
Oh man, do we see the craziness, bro? Let me catch up with chat real quick because I know y'all yapping. Ig says, I think due to it directly connected / tied to the planet's movement, that the energy should be a 1-to-1 per second. Well, that's what you think it should be. That's what you would like it to be. Nothing actually proves, indicates, suggests, or shows it to be a 1-to-1. That's it's fanciful. It's what you'd like, but that's not reality, bro. That's the only way we can get the energy put into Uzuhiko, then assume some unknown amount. That's the only way we can get the energy put into Uzuhiko. Who says we need to get the energy put in? Who says we need that? Why do we need it? Is there a reason why we need to find the energy value of Uzuhiko? From the showings I've seen of it, it's more so Doraneg in the first place. It hasn't really shown to cause any damage. And any damage it does cause would be scaled and not calced in anyway. It would be scaled, not calced. When is Amaterasu killed? That's a beautiful question. When has Amaterasu killed? We don't know. It's just more likely than to assume some small amount, specifically when the DC is lowered down because it was getting too crazy. That's another assumption though, bro. All this is assumption. It's just more likely to assume some small amount. How about we just go off of scaling things we can actually verify? Even if it's bad in Naruto, we can verify scaling to some degree. Specifically when the DC is lowered. What DC? It hasn't shown anything. It kicked up dust and moved code off the ground. There was no DC shown. DC lowered, there's no DC available. The only thing that we've seen it do is Doraneg, because the energy transfers onto code and it, causes him to go loopy and stuff like that. Not gonna lie, Noodles is the king of being a rat. Because water bullets look and sound like fodder technique, unlike Kitten. Right. Oh my god, Naruto fans basing their scaling off hyperbolic statements from the data books. Oh yeah, that's commonplace nowadays. Ignil, yeah, Naruto fans aren't real scalers, bro. Some of them are. Fun fact, jutsus are based on the perfect amount of chakra. Jutsus are based on the perfect amount of chakra? You want to go more into that? Because you just saying that statement is kind of nebulous. When you say they're based on the perfect amount of chakra, what exactly are you saying? Are you saying that each jutsu has a specific chakra amount that is necessary to use the jutsu? Or each jutsu to get it to its fullest potential has a certain amount of chakra that they're going to use for the jutsu to get it to its full potential? it being and I'm guessing you're saying this to go into your whole Uzihiko, the chakra 1-to-1, but even that really wouldn't make sense because, again, chakra itself, although it might have a value, it's not directly linked to AP. To get AP, we'd actually have to see something. Something has to happen. We have to, in effect, scaling either or calcing, something has to happen. If we don't have either of those things, we cannot really derive AP. We're speculating. I've talked with many scalers from many fan bases, and I can't recall any of them respecting Naruto scalers. I respect a few. Yeah, I respect a few. They're brainwashed. Most of them. All this stupid fucking faster than light shit. And people still using these dog water splash arguments today. Sadly, yeah. None of these motherfuckers are FTL. Naruto fans debate anyone claiming light speed with little to no evidence. Yep. Let them know, John. LL. Yep. If the manga did support the databook statement, then it's wait. If the manga, I'm guessing, doesn't support the databook statement, then it's hyperbolic. Unless you meant did. They probably think Haku is light speed. See, Haku, at least for me, Haku is one of the people I don't have a problem with, actually. Why? Because it's a manga book statement, and the technique actually makes perfect sense, and the representation of his speed actually makes perfect sense. Even if he's exaggerating a little bit, I don't have a problem with Haku. It's just that no one actually scales the Haku when he's moving as fast as he can in between his mirrors. Not a single person. And mind you, he's going mirror to mirror at light speed, not mirror to anywhere else at light speed. So this would discount Naruto being able to get him or track him or grab him at light speed. This would discount Sasuke being able to see, track, or do anything at light speed because he was not light speed when he was going to get Naruto. He's the only light speed going in between the mirrors. If Naruto characters were faster than light, they destroy Earth or atomize themselves physically. My guy is proof that putting their bodies through extreme punishment kills them. Exactly. And just as John went over in one of his streams, or it was either my stream or one of his streams, I can't remember, but we mentioned Mabui's technique. Mabui's technique is a perfect illustration of people not moving light speed because they can't handle the transmission rate. And I even looked it up because I wasn't too sure what they meant by transmission rate. They could have just said speed of the technique. But when you look it up, transmission rate is actually talking about the speed at which something moves. So they couldn't handle the speed at which they were sent to the battlefield. Tsunade had to continuously heal. Raikage has a tougher body, but he even can't move that fast because he doesn't get injured to the same degree he got injured by that technique when he moves. So I don't know what we're talking about with Lightspeed Naruto. Naruto versus nowhere near Lightspeed. Crash out. Ha 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 ha. A little late for it, but yes. These goofies throwing around Lightspeed for Naruto, yeah. Most Naruto characters can't even move at Mach 500. Noodles being ratty, the water bullets are coming from behind Kakashi. So, but his argument, though, is not even if they're coming from behind Kakashi, the fact that he's holding back because he's really a ally of the Leaf. These guys are clowns. What's Mach 500? Because Naruto is hard, stuck lightning. Yeah, water gun versus water fang bullet. Charlatans. And see, John, this is what I'm talking about. People who actually know the series would know to point out a difference like that. Like, hey, yes, the Hozukis might have a water bullet, but that's more so because it's representing a fucking gun. It's representing what's actually happening. In no way, shape, or form is that the same technique that Itachi used on Kakashi that had literally like little spiral drills of water coming at him. That's not the same technique. But anyone who actually knows the series would be able to point that out. I don't know how Swag hasn't pointed this out. But I understand, you know what? I do understand that when you're caught up in a debate, you normally, when you're caught up in a debate, most of your energy and focus is on not being proven wrong, not necessarily being as accurate or thinking of everything I'll say, right? I have the privilege of watching this back and not actually using most of my brain power to think of arguments and stuff like that, right? I'm just listening for inconsistencies and pointing them out. Could I be able to do this in an actual debate? More than likely, yes, because I know the series. More than likely, yes, but I can't say for 100% certainty. So I will give reprieve, or I will give like a break for that, because I understand how that can go. But overall, nah, man, I can't. Well, no, I don't mind. We'll see. Yeah, Ichigo is bare light speed, and he's faster at a baseline than Naruto on his best day. Ichigo bare light speed. I don't know about that. Maybe relativistic combat speed, and at his absolute best light speed, like full Bankai, full hollow. Maybe that. Does Kiba have his statement as well? Does Kiba have this statement as well? I doubt it. Wet paper bag versus moldy banana peel type debate. Yeah, that's the Mizukage. Yes, they don't know the characters. Light speed attacks and movements. Yet the Raikage struggles at light speed teleportation and Tsunade needing 100 healings. Yup. Ichigo has barely light speed. He only moves at 200,000 miles or more mph. Yep. Well, barely relativistic. Yeah. Mach 500 is less than lightning speed. It is. How fast are Minato's teleportation? Because Naruto's be lying about it being light speed, like the 3-man flying raining teleport. Flying Raijin teleport. Okay. Lightning is Mach 1000, which is 500 times faster than Mach 500. Oh, is it? Lightning is only Mach 1000? That's not that fast. Light speed attacks are different from light speed movements. I agree. To figure out the AP based on my definition. I mean, based on your definition, the Uzi-Hiko's AP is still not something you would be able to qualify because you're taking gross assumptions. You're taking the fact that the planet spins and generates energy and applying that to Boruto standing on the ground and taking the planet's energy. Let me ask you this. When a planet spins, is all the total energy of the planet at Boruto's feet? No, it's not. It's around the entire planet. So Boruto would only be getting a small fraction. The smallest fraction. Actually, 0.5 or no, 0.000000000. However many times the Boruto planet eclipses Boruto, he'd only be getting about that much energy. In fact, you should probably take that methodology and run with it because it's actually a lot more accurate. Take the size of Boruto, take the Boruto planet, divide Boruto inside the Boruto planet, have him standing for however long you say he's going to stand. That's how much energy he would be getting from the planet at any given time. That's the best way I could probably think about to do it. But just assuming it's a 1-to-1 because he's standing on the planet and the planet generates chakra, that's not going to work. That's not enough for me. It's going to get scrutinized. It doesn't pass. It doesn't. No. I wouldn't do that. Ask ChatGPT. See if it gives you any counter arguments. So if I'm catching bullets from BG9 minigun is a more impressive speed feat than most things in Naruto. Actually, yes, those bullets were point blank and she had to intercept them from off screen and then appear several meters away from him. Very impressive. True Pac Miller, most Naruto characters can't move faster than the speeding bullets. That's why Kishimoto didn't put guns in Naruto. Sword phone is way faster. Yeah, and here's the thing with that. I believe their body flicker is faster than speeding bullets, but if we're just talking about like raw running speed, I don't think so. Yes, each jutsu is based on the required jutsu value needed. This was stated by Kakashi. Too much or small amounts of chakra will make the jutsu less effective and weaker. Right. Preach. You were talking about over a long distance, marathon running and sprinting are different things. The things, though, is if they were light speed, it wouldn't matter how far they would need to go because light can cover the earth in 7 seconds. Shout out to John the Maven. Funny how Seiji Teen Naruto almost got tagged by quote-unquote light speed attack, light fang by Madara. Right. Going to use my domain expansion, though, on Eno. That's okay. There are no light speed feats in Bleach, says Kariba. No, but there are. Well, I mean, I'm not even gonna say no. I'll let the other ones debate that because I still haven't given my stance on that. Shuhei with Kubo Nerf versus Kiba. Who wins? Hanataro. Ichigo is light speed from Soul Society arc. I wouldn't do that. Reminder, everyone, Kubo hates Shuhei, right? Yeah, we know. Kuribo, if you believe Shikamaru Ryatsu did not travel and instantaneously shook the 3 realms, you'd still have a feat above light speed due to that being an inaccessible speed feat. There you go. Senjumaru shaking the realm, so Ryatsu traveled at the speed of light. Yes. It would have had to, yeah. Straightforward attack versus random discharge. Yeah, that's probably a better way to calc it. So then it will probably only be like wall level. There you go. There you go. I'm saying, bro, take it and run with it. That makes the most sense because Boruto, he's on the play. Yeah, you get the whole spiel. I ain't got to do it again. Yeah. Soifon is way too slow to compete with Naruto characters. Aizen outsmarts anyone in Naruto. Nah, most Naruto characters are too slow for Soifon. True. Pick any category. Aizen outsmarts the verse. Prove me wrong. Anime Matrix says Naruto characters can't even move at Mach 5. What are you talking about? Soifon is Dragon Ball level in speed. Feats, statements though. Right. Let's get back to it.
why wouldn't he use jutsu? Why would he use jutsu that's not light speed, or why wouldn't he use jutsu?
Why wouldn't he use jutsu that aren't light speed?
You're like doing a double negative. Like, what do you mean by this?
No,
like,
this is a light speed jutsu. Why wouldn't he just use a different jutsu?
A different jutsu? I mean, he has to put on, like, it's just his decision to use this jutsu in this moment because there's water around. Like, there, we can't get in the, we can't just like get inside. We can't just get inside his mind.
Like, you're telling me the guy that put Kakashi in the hospital. So like he was hospitalized so bad that they needed to find Tsunade, who was at the time like missing. Yeah, like they had no idea where Tsunade was.
You know what Kakashi says about that moment?
Yeah, he's like, why doesn't he just kill me, right?
Yeah, he says he could have killed me. Why didn't he? So he is holding back against them even with the Tsukiyome.
Yeah, so maybe he's not holding back his speed. There's no reason to assume he's holding back his speed.
It easily could be. It's stated that
I think it's stated that
the Tsukiyome can attack people at the speed of light too.
Extremely likely that these are speed of light. I think it's extremely likely that these are speed of light.
You have no proof of that.
It's stated in the data book, and it's wait. 02 Forte.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it.
Is that speed of light statement the one where it's pointing up at the picture right underneath it? If so, then it's definitely that use of the jutsu as speed of light.
Okay, they just stopped talking.
02 responded in the other chat. He said no. 02, they can't see that chat.
All right then. That's it then. If it says no, if he said no, then it's not the case. It's talking about that instance.
Yeah, they're saying it's on the right side.
Okay, so it's talking
what
about the
does the shit underneath the picture say?
Let's look at this.
He's probably talking about the time he tried to use it against Kagashi.
Yeah, Itachi's big fat penis, something.
Oh, what the fuck, man.
Itachi's sitting here using faster water jutsu than Kisame, the water guy. Oh, it's hard to read for you?
Yeah, it's really blurry. Like, you click it, and you can see that the kanji's blurred as fuck.
Yeah.
You can find a more quality one. You can look at it, but I'm pretty sure I've seen this data book before. I honestly forgot about it. Like, I was gonna argue Lightspeed Itachi from the get-go. I didn't even think about this one. Just another feat for Lightspeed Itachi. Anyway, yeah, like if it's not talking about it from under the picture, then there's no proof he used it at full power in that specific encounter. That's just you.
I think it's just very reasonable to assume.
Okay, let's read this ourselves real quick. So, let's do this. We have the jutsu on panel, or right in front of us, and the description. Water release, water fang bullet user, Itachi. So this is Itachi using water release, the water fang bullet. This is the excerpt from what's happening in the picture. Itachi Uchiha Itachi from the water, bullets at the speed of light coming from a blind spot to bore into the enemy. So I have no idea how Noodles could deny this is talking about Itachi and Kakashi in this very instance when it literally says bullets coming from a blind spot, bullets at the speed of light coming from a blind spot. It has the picture. It shows the water bullets. It shows Itachi, Kakashi, Kurenai. It's talking about this moment. I don't know what we, excuse me. I don't know what we, oh my God. What we would? I don't know what we would. That's so weird. There we go with that damn brain again. Because I was already 3 seconds ahead. I don't know how we could interpret anything other than this is about this moment in this instance. I don't know how. Where's the thingy?
No, you have no proof.
No.
Yeah, you don't have proof, so it is an assumption. That's definitionally.
It literally says that it's light speed in the data book.
What's an assumption, Swag?
We're not gonna do this again, bro. You asked me to define.
Well, I'm telling you're saying it's not an assumption, so we're defining it because you don't know what an assumption is. Clearly, an assumption is a claim made without evidence. You are claiming this without evidence.
Isn't. But it's not made without evidence. It's listed as like being the speed of light with a picture of Itachi using it against Kakashi.
That is not what we're talking about. We're not talking about
whether or not.
No, I'm about to explain it. We're not talking about
it?
whether the picture says it's speed of light. We both agree on that. We're talking about whether or not he used it at the speed of light in that encounter. That's.
Oh, so wait, we're talking about whether or not he used it at the speed of light in that encounter. Let's read that again and see if anything actually changes. Let's see. We have the water release, water fang bullet, and the user is Itachi Uchiha. From the water, bullets at the speed of light coming from a blind spot to bore into the enemy. Well, there's Kakashi. He is the enemy. There is the picture of it happening. Why would it not be light speed in this instance if it's so like here's the thing. We're not even this isn't a jutsu description, by the way. This is narrating what's actually happening here. This is not a jutsu description. This doesn't say water fang bullet, a technique that does bullets. That's not what it's saying. It's describing what's going on in this very moment. Itachi Uchiha is the user of this technique, water release, water fang bullet. And bullets at the speed of light are coming from a blind spot to bore into the enemy. We have the enemy, we have the bullets on screen, and we have Itachi, who is the user. Noodles is a wild guy. See, if I'm presented with something like this, because I'm a rational being, I'm just going to give it to you because I understand what's going on. I don't need to argue. I don't think you need to argue every point because every point doesn't have to be worth the argument, bro. You can give it to them. They can be light speed. It can be talking about this. Man, oh man. Debates are taxing, bro.
What we're talking about. So I don't care if it says it. It can be.
Okay, here's what I would say. Okay. The version that is being referenced is the version Itachi used.
There you go.
He's the only listed user.
There you go.
Okay. So
talk
that
to that
version is
Swag.
the speed of light.
Tone, why should people join us on April 23rd through the 25th for the AI Advantage Summit?
Because I.
Thank God, bro. I think this is the first time Swag said exactly what I basically said verbatim. The version that's being referenced and listed is the version that's happening right now to Kakashi. The user, the technique, what's happening. Literally one for one. Thank you, Swag. Let's see how Noodles argues this.
Could just be at full power, though. That doesn't change the argument I made.
What do you say?
No.
What do you say?
Used because he's the only listed user of it. Okay? So that version is the speed of light.
It could just be at full power, though. That doesn't change the argument I made.
It could
be talking about Itachi. It could be Itachi is the user, but there's no proof in this instance that he's using it at full power. That's the problem. You cannot get around that.
There's no proof at this instance that he's using it at full power, except the fact that this does not describe the jutsu. It's describing what's happening. Oh, man. I'm upset like I'm debating this guy. I'm not even going to do it because I've explained it. I'm not even going to.
Without just making a baseless assumption. He's holding back.
That's not a baseless assumption.
Okay, so provide me evidence that it's talking about that encounter.
One sec. Do we have also statements of the right?
All right, so this might be a good time. Here's what I would do in this instance because this is extremely disingenuous at this point. I would do two things. I would continue to reiterate that we're talking about the on-panel picture showing us this, number one. I would continue to reiterate this is not a jutsu description, but a description of what's happening in the scene before us. And then what I would do is I would find evidence of other techniques in the data book that are being described that actually go in line with what's happening in the moment. As consistency, to build consistency, because this is just disingenuous as hell. And my goal would be if someone's taking this stance, we're not even going to do this. What I'm going to do is say, okay, cool. I understand and I respect your position. This is not me yielding the claim or position, but I would like to move on. So what we'll do is We can let the people decide whose interpretation is better, because I'm definitely not yielding this. It has everything in there for it to be talking about this very moment. Fine. You definitely can't prove it's not talking about this moment. So we're going to move on, let the people decide. I'll put up a poll. They'll say you're crazy as batshit, and then we'll move on. Because I'm not doing this, prove that. Like, yes, in certain instances and cases, that's absolutely fine to do. Evidence and things is fine to ask for. It's good. But we're not about to do that. We're not doing that. I'm not wasting 45 minutes proving to you that this is talking about this moment coming from a blind spot. Because here's the thing. The technique doesn't necessitate that they come from a blind spot. They're coming from a blind spot in this instance. This is not a jutsu description. This is accounting for what's happening right before us. Not the same thing.
Kage being the speed of light, because this.
There's your crash out, Kino.
It says he performed the lariat at the speed of light, yeah. Or
okay.
Speed like light is what it says, but yeah.
Okay, and Sasuke is able to dodge it?
The lariat?
Yeah.
No, he gets hit by B's lariat. I don't remember a situation where he dodges the lariat.
Or Raikage's lariat, I mean.
No, he dodges B's lariat too. He uses just a punch.
Are there no statements of the Raikage just like flatly moving at the speed of light?
No, it's actually a jutsu file. It's talking about the lariat itself. It's talking about B and the Raikage.
Well, I don't want to have to get into this.
So Swag could use that as counter. Swag can use that as counter evidence. It's talking about the jutsu itself, not the moment the jutsu happened. That is talking about when the jutsu actually happened and what's going on in that panel or in that databook reference box.
Because this is gonna be ratty, but we do have the fucking. I know what you're gonna say. There's gonna be some rat bullshit that you're about to say back to this.
It don't have to be ratty. Just go ahead.
No, it is gonna be ratty what you're about to say, but we do have the statement from the chapter at the end of the chapter where Pain leaves to go capture Naruto, where it calls him the strongest man in the Akatsuki.
Man, you already know this is super contentious, Swag. But
the reason this would never, like, the reason you can't tell me anyone is the strongest anything in Naruto is because qualifying that isn't going to be based on any verifiable metric, right? We already know Ab-Stract stands on this. And by the way, I was saying stronger was a euphemism. I've been making a mistake. The word I meant to be saying was misnomer. Stronger is a misnomer for better ninja. It's not a euphemism. Euphemisms are words that are used to soften the blow or make something else seem nicer instead of saying the real thing. It's not a euphemism. What it is, identifiably, is a misnomer. There is no such thing as a stronger ninja. There's only such thing as a more skilled ninja, a better equipped ninja. And then even that, it's going to be based on certain factors. It's not 100% stronger. No. For example, Data versus Sasuke. There is no stronger ninja in that. There's a better skilled ninja and a more equipped ninja. And sometimes you have inherent disadvantages like Data strictly being an earth style ninja versus Sasuke being a lightning style ninja. Lightning nullifies earth, sadly. So I don't believe in this notion of a stronger ninja. Actually, someone in the chat one time did actually describe what they meant by stronger. And the way they said it, I was inclined to agree with them, but it was predicated upon stronger being contextualized. You know what I mean? Because when we say stronger for Naruto, we can't be talking about anything that has to do with chakra amount, chakra quantity, chakra control, or chakra efficiency. It's none of those things. It is your whole kit, tools, and arsenal versus my whole kit, tools, and arsenal and how we use those things. At the end of the day, you're likely not more durable. At the end of the day, even if you can perform a higher output AP attack, my lower output AP attack can still harm you because you don't scale to your chakra or your energy or like that. At the end of the day, you're not overwhelmingly faster than me because you can't fight with body flicker unless your name is the Raikage. And even then, all I need to do is have the sufficient reaction time to combat you. I don't need to be as fast as you in Naruto as long as I can react to you. That's number 3. So there is no such thing as a stronger ninja. That is a misnomer for better ninja. And then better goes into many things.
Talk about it. It says it's not ratty what I'm about to say either. It is just a legit argument. I've even heard you and Six say, it was you and Seth on a video. We're talking about it on the Itachi.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
I know. Yeah, we'll keep Voldemort's name hidden. Anyway, you and Voldemort. made an Itachi versus Pain video, and even in that, you both acknowledge that it's a super
No,
thing.
this was his idea. This was his idea.
Blame
it on him. I am. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it.
You don't agree with it no more because of the sake of the debate. I understand. But anyway.
Let me clarify because John brings up a question. He says, hold up. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Give me 1 second. John says, you don't think B is stronger Shinobi physicals wise than Genin Sakura? No, yes, I do believe that. And I want to say, like, because I've mentioned on other streams, right? When we go, actually, no, I think I mentioned in my Kakashi versus Toshiro video, or at least one of those things. When we get into stronger, there are so many factors that make that thing up that it would never be a singular category. Because here's the thing. B could be physically stronger and still lose to physically weaker people. That's the thing. Him being physically stronger, him having higher AP ninjutsu, and him being more durable doesn't mean he can't be beat by someone that is inferior in all those stats, is what I'm saying. Whereas in other series, like if you take Dragon Ball, for example, there's no way a Krillin, let's not do Krillin because he has Destructo Disc in like a 1 in a million chance he hits someone with it. Well, no. There's no way a Krillin beats a Cell. I'll say that. There's no way Krillin of that time beats Cell of that time. It's literally impossible. Cell could go to sleep and Krillin could not kill him. Just as the same way, there's no way that Fodder Hollows beat Aizen. They just don't output anything enough to be able to beat him. No hacks, no AP, no DC, no anything. They literally cannot overcome him. Whereas in Naruto, stronger, yes, you could be physically stronger, but guess what? My name is Damon, and I have a hacks that allows me to reflect damage and intent. So fuck all your strength. You're not getting around that. You could be faster, but guess what? My name is Obito, and I can phase through any attack that lands, and all I have to do is touch you to win. You could be faster. Guess what? My name is also Obito, and I've not put out a single high AP attack, yet if I grab you, I win. You could be faster. Guess what? My name is Shikamaru, and I use my shadow. If my shadow reaches you, I win. Basically, especially if I'm with teammates, I win. Absolutely. You could have 10 times more chakra. My name is Kasame Hoshigaki, but guess what? I'm Itachi Uchiha. I have the Sharingan. If I look at you, I win. No, literally, that's a win for the eye. I win. I just blew in your face. That's an I win. Right? So yeah, what I'm saying is stronger has no measurable standard. It has no measurable standard. And Luna Ursa actually put something in the Discord that I'm going to review later about this. She mentioned something about Kimimaru. I'll take a look at that. But from what I understood, she said there is actually a measurable standard of power, kind of, or like they at least take it into consideration. I'm not saying within Naruto, they don't take strength into consideration. Stop that. You stop that shit. My primary thing is accounting for crossverse, though, right? I've always said within the Naruto world, universe, and series, sure, Jonin, Chunin, Genin, Hokage, these things can mean something, even though I don't believe they have that much merit, even within the minds of these ninja, that it means something. It's important. When we go to crossverse, though, there's no way to determine how strong any individual Chunin would be. Whereas in other series, we could get a high ball, low ball minimum based off of a measurable standard of power, right? Naruto lacks that, is my overall thesis in this whole thing of stronger. B is absolutely stronger than every Genin he's come across. This does not mean B beats every Genin that exists, though. Sadly, that's not true. Wherein a captain is beating every fifth seat that's alive. Doesn't matter the scenario, doesn't matter the case. They just outstat them that much. They just outpower them by that much. It's just true. It's just true. So that's what I mean by stronger. I hope that was clarified. Thank you for that question, though, John.
what I'm gonna say is it's like in that instance, like I have it already saved.
Yeah.
Hold on, real quick. I'll just grab it because I already have it.
Pax says David sucks, by the way.
Hold on, real quick, bro.
So why is it contentious? Just give me your argument for why it's contentious.
I have to find it real quick. Look, that way I can just show you. It'd be easier just to show you. It's
Because also that video was made like 2 years ago or something, and I could have changed my mind by then. You would agree?
That's fine, but it just means your video was wrong.
Yep. My video that I deleted.
Every month, this Airbnb pays me about $2,700 in semi-passive income. Now,
you didn't delete it. It's on Seth's channel.
Oh, yeah, it's on Seth's channel. My video that I would delete.
Oh, you just said his name. You said Voldemort's name.
Oh, yeah, Mr.
Here's why it's super contentious. And I actually have quite a few reasons for why it wouldn't make sense for Pain to be this. So what it says is, the strongest man in the Akatsuki pursues Naruto next time in pursuit of Itachi. There's a couple things to notice about this. At the end, it says, firstly, if you look at the bottom middle of that page, it says chapter number 364 end, and then it points over to the next section. So the chapter's already ended, and it says the strongest man in the Akatsuki pursues Naruto next time in color pages in pursuit of Itachi. So,
okay, can I just go ahead and okay, you can finish what you're about.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting though too? Like just imagine Tayuya versus Pain, but she already starts in her second state and she has her flute in her hand. Imagine that. Literally, Tayuya beats the paths of Pain. Think about that. Their biggest weakness, or I'm sorry, I don't want to call it a weakness because it works on everyone, but their biggest vulnerability was genjutsu, specifically sound-based genjutsu. If Tayuya is starting in second state and is over 200 meters away, which her sound can probably reach to, I would assume, she's beating the paths of Pain. Does this discount Pain being the strongest man in the Akatsuki? Yes and no. Yes and no. He certainly has the strongest techniques in the Akatsuki. He certainly is the most versatile in the Akatsuki. He certainly has the highest survivability in the Akatsuki, but he can be beaten by Tayuya under the right circumstances. That's my problem with Naruto's strength and saying strongest ninja, strongest that. That's my overall problem with saying the strongest. I really wish it did work like Bleach and Naruto, where chakra amount, potency, or proficiency did attenuate some adverse effects to chakra or to ninjutsu, right? I really wish it worked like that. I'd have a much funner time arguing the series. But as it stands, pretty much everything works on everyone. There are a few cases where that's not the norm, but we're not told why they don't work. We're not told why. And you can't infer one thing over another. You really can't. For example, Ino is only able to mind control Obito for 2 seconds. Here's the issue with that. Ino was very far away and she had to use Hinata's Byakugan as help to hit him. So we don't know if distance is a factor. We don't know if Obito is mentally stronger than him. We don't know mentally stronger than her. We don't know if it is a chakra thing. We don't know if it's because he was connected to the 10 tails. We don't know. We don't know. At least with Shikamaru Shadow Possession, when they were doing it right, it was based on strength, right? Hidan could overpower it because he was literally forcing. He was like, strength. Tayuya could physically overpower it for a little bit because her chakra was giving her power. So strength. So there's some connections, but for the vast majority of times in applications, everything just works on everybody else. That's kind of what it's shown to be. Shikamaru can use Shadow Possession on 12 Sound Ninja at once. Shikadai can use a huge Shadow Possession on Boruto and all the Claw Grimes and not be in a disadvantaged position at all, and they can't break free at all. Didn't Shikamaru also use Shadow Possession on Obito and Obito was stuck there? Didn't that actually happen? Didn't he have to get free by the Ghetto statue? Yeah, that actually happened. Obito can suck anyone into the Kamiru dimension, no matter how powerful or no matter how strong they are. The Reaper Death Seal works on everybody, regardless of chakra quantity. We know this. We've seen my video, right? What's it called again? Soul Crush. Yeah, we've seen the Soul Crush video. We've seen these things. Techniques just happen, not even happen. Techniques just work. And we have to understand, or at least Naruto fans got to understand, because I've already been on this. The show was never about that. The show was never about having characters that are so strong that they can't be beat, so strong that nothing can happen to them. This is a ninja show, right? Ninjas use strategy, tactics, planning, espionage, all this other stuff. Makibishi spikes, which they actually never used again. This is a ninja show, though, right? So yeah, Zabuza being able to be tricked into letting Kakashi go is something those kids should be capable of. Zabuza wasn't so powerful, though, that he could just tank all their attacks, even though they're kids. So when we go back to B versus Sakura with a kunai is still a threat to B. A fifth seat with a Zanpakuto is not a threat to Aizen. Aizen can catch Renji Zabumaru barehanded. Aizen can catch Ichigo's Bankai barehanded. Aizen can catch Kokujo Tengen Myoho barehanded. Not a threat. No one's doing that in Naruto. Naruto needs to be in KCM form and catching the sword at the right time to stop Zetsu. He needs to be the sound ninja girl needs to flip her sword to the back so it's not cutting anyone. Swing it, and then Naruto needs to catch it specifically so he doesn't get cut. You understand the difference? What I'm saying?
And then before you get into your next reason, let me respond to this one. Okay.
6.
No, but you can you like?
Oh, it says it right there. I will. Yeah, it's fine. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
365 is right. 365 is the chapter. The reason I think that this statement is actually talking about Itachi is a couple things.
Okay, now give me the first one that you were about to say.
I'll give you the first one. You respond. I'll give you the second one. Hold on. Let me find where talking about it. All right, right here. This page right here. So in the next chapter, it's talking about someone pursuing Naruto. You know who that was? Go to the scans chat. Who is that? Who's that hiding in the bushes looking for Naruto?
Okay, so here, let me go ahead and debunk this. Let me go ahead and swiftly debunk this. Itachi, sheer coincidence. What does that say? Sheer coincidence. Not pursuit. They run into each other by happenstance. Okay?
No,
Itachi wasn't pursuing shit. Itachi wasn't pursuing shit. Wasn't pursuing shit.
No.
He wasn't pursuing shit, Noodles. Go ahead and read that. No, go ahead. Can you go ahead and do me a favor and read what that says on the page?
I'll read it. Itachi's sheer coincidence leads Naruto to an unexpected. What does Itachi have in store for Naruto this time? Well, let's see what he says. Itachi was intentionally trying to put the crow in him, yeah?
No.
You don't think Itachi?
It literally says sheer coincidence. It literally says sheer coincidence.
Did Kishimoto write that, or some editor write that?
No, Kishimoto wrote that.
Prove it.
What? It's in the text.
Did Kishimoto write that, or did the editor write that? How about it's in the data book, so I don't give a fuck, bro? Would that be an acceptable answer? If you guys were debating Noodles right now, and he said, did Kishimoto write that, or did the editor write that? Would an acceptable answer be, it's in the data book, so I don't give a fuck? Is that an acceptable answer? I'm being dead ass. Because my first thought is to exit the conversation, but if I'm trying to have a conversation with them, that's what I would say. Would I be tripping for saying that? How would you guys react to that? I would really love to know, how would you guys react to prove Kishimoto wrote that and not the editor?
Text. It's literally in Naruto.
An editor, those weekly release statements are editor notes.
Looking for the best deals on international business class flights? With Aaron Grant, you get exclusive insider price.
All right, let me catch up. That was crazy to me. Oh, Ursa asked, do I think getting Sakura can kill B? I thought that was John. My fault. Narc can go against the same level of durability. Okay, and that is okay. Yeah. Dark Schneider versus Omega Shenron would be lit. Dark Schneider has the edge, though. Dark Schneider's hilarious. Bleach verse may not be that strong, but it's stronger than the Naruto / Boruto verse. Which mean may not be that strong. Like, what is that strong exactly? What's strong? What's a strong verse you're comparing it to? It counts as a weakness, even if it affects others. You mean Tayuya's thing? Bleach is more powerful than Naruto. I know that. Yeah. Sasuke couldn't even phase B with a kick. To me, unless it's with a kunai, she cannot harm B as a Genin. Yeah. Those, so like, yeah, those. Excuse me. Those disparities can exist, and it still wouldn't. Holy shit! This always happens. Excuse me. Yeah. So those disparities can exist, and it still wouldn't discount stronger in what it means. It would still be a misnomer because being physically stronger does not guarantee you victory over someone. It just means you're physically stronger than them. But when has being physically stronger meant you're going to win the fight? As we see, B lost to Sasuke, even though he had help, right? When has being physically stronger meant you're going to win the fight? I can tell you when having more spirit energy has meant you're going to win the fight. I can tell you when having higher ki, like to a disparaging degree, right, has meant that you're going to win the fight. I'm not talking about relative people. People always like to be like, oh, well, why was this able to work on Aizen if he has more? Shut up. I'm obviously not talking about people relative to his level of Reiatsu. I'm talking about a disparity because that's what matters here. Not you, Lunursa, of course, right? I'm talking about people who use those arguments against me like they don't read Bleach, or maybe they don't read Bleach and I give people too much credit. But I'll be hearing, well, why was this person able to get hurt by this person? Obviously, these people are in the same realm or class or level of Reiatsu. These are two captains that are fighting, mind you. Yes, Aizen's stronger, but that doesn't mean he's invincible just because he's stronger than them. That's not how it works. No. Where were we? Yeah. Hokage, so I think the last movie Naruto could Killer B... Wait, what? Could kill Killer B as a Genin. You know what's funny about the last movie Naruto? Don't they have Naruto and Jiraiya fighting Urashiki or some shit like that? Maybe he could kill B as a Genin. I don't know. And we know Sakura is just a one-shot tier above a normal human. Yeah, she definitely is. It's a will and chakra thing. Ino held Obito a bit longer after Naruto shared the chakra cloak. But she was also closer, wasn't she? She was closer. And it could be a chakra thing. It definitely could be a chakra thing. But then we have to look at, is it the more chakra that allowed it? Is it the nine tails chakra which is stronger that allowed it? Is it a combination of both those things? We don't know, and we won't know. And then that would also go into things like that are only Biju exclusive things. Bro, they are until I am proven wrong. The levels can be used to build a model of expectations for hypothetical ninja arsenals, because we even get elaborations like Jonin having two natures standard, like that means something. Yeah, it means something as far as expertise. It means something as far as overall arsenal. I'm not in disagreement with like overall arsenal. Yeah. Can Games Bond survive or be? See, but the thing is, not every Jonin has two joints though. I don't think that's true. All right. That means your overall arsenal could be and would be the determining factor of your level in Naruto. It's your overall arsenal, but see, we also have to factor in the fact that compatibility plays a factor in Naruto. If your overall arsenal is all earth-based, but you're really, really good, and you're coming up against a lightning style user who also has earth and some other things, then you'd be the one at a disadvantage, because not only does he have earth style that can cancel out your earth style, he has lightning style which can overcome your earth style. So it's really not, it's also like overall arsenal, yes, but then compatibility. And then we have to take in natural talent. That's what it was. We have to take in natural talent, because I've said this before. Sakura had the best chakra control out of Naruto and Sasuke in the Land of Waves. This is an absolute fact. But Sasuke and Naruto were still faster and stronger than Sakura because they were more naturally gifted than Sakura, right? So this tells us that chakra control, chakra quantity aren't the determining factors. Techniques aren't the determining factors. And raw talent isn't even the determining factors, because there could be people less talented than Naruto Sasuke. There could be people less. See, there we go again with my goddamn brain being faster than my goddamn mouth. There could be people less talented than Naruto and Sasuke, but relative to them, but less talented, but with extremely better chakra control. And this would mean whenever they're putting chakra to their feet, they're faster than Naruto and Sasuke. And whenever they're doing techniques, they're not expending as much chakra because they're using the perfect amount, as Ig wanted to point out. They're using the perfect amount of chakra to perform their techniques. So it's so many factors that it almost suffice to say stronger doesn't even fucking matter. It's a misnomer for better skilled. It almost suffice to say that on any given day, depending on the matchup, any ninja could win. We just have to contextualize who it is and what's happening, which is why Naruto debates are actually so fun, because depending on how you argue, you can get that person to win. Unless we're talking about like extremely top tiers of the verse, like the Otsutsuki or Jubito or Jubidara, fine. No one is beating them with anything, right? You're not going to be able to stab them to death. You're not going to be able to, not saying they can't get hurt by kunai, but they have a healing factor, right? You're not going to be able to stab them to death. Your ninjutsu is definitely not going to work. And more than likely, your hacks aren't going to work. Fine. We give it to them. But I'm not even too sure about Kage. You could probably kill over kunai. But fine. We give it to them. Everyone below them, though, if you're not a Shinshuriki with a Biju cloak, you're on the chopping block. As far as like this durability stuff is concerned. But overall, there still is no stronger. There's still compatibility. There's techniques. There's chakra control. There's efficiency. There's jutsu. So yeah.
That's they put.
Oh wait, no, I was reading more chats. Hold up. All right. He is fast enough to do that. The Zanpakuto being treated like blunt punches is so buns. What? The Zanpakuto being. But Karibo, here's the thing. They're treated like blunt punches simply because Reiatsu, Bleach's Reiatsu based power system dictates that it won't have an effect or a high effect, or more rather, effects will be mitigated if you are weaker in spiritual pressure or spiritual energy output in any given scenario, right? So no, I really don't think it's buns. In fact, it's very common in series and shows. It's very common that happens all the time. Zanpakuto would one-shot anyone in Naruto Boruto. So, I mean, maybe not one-shot, but at the bare minimum, Zanpakuto would be as strong as your basic sword. That's at the bare minimum, right? We know they're likely stronger because they're being infused with spirit energy, but at the bare minimum, they're going to work as well as your basic fucking sword. And a basic sword can one-shot people in Naruto, so maybe that is correct. Ab, did you read Breaker Manhwa? I have not read Breaker Manhwa. I don't know what that is. A random Zanpakuto is nothing special. I mean, yeah, most swords in Naruto are nothing special because most people aren't infusing their swords with chakra. So, I mean, and in fact, I can 100% argue, and I don't even need to argue it. I can prove that every Zanpakuto is being buffed by spirit energy. I can actually prove that. Unlike when people say, oh, everyone in Naruto is enhancing their kunai. Everyone in Naruto is enhancing their punches and kicks. Everyone in Naruto is enhancing their swords. That's not true. That's not what's happening. That's an actual technique that people have to learn, develop, and train to do. In Bleach, guess what? The foundation of your Zanpakuto, when you hold the damn thing, it's going to be taking in your spirit energy. This is a fact. All we need to do is go to the explanation of Zanpakuto versus Quincy bows and arrows. That's all we need do. That's all we need do. If Naruto had everything Bleach says, Kuribo would love it. Oh, he would love it, absolutely. Pac Miller, well, according to Naruto, Zanpakuto isn't stronger than that Otsutsuki god. A random Zanpakuto is nothing is special enough to attack any soul in Naruto. That's true. I think the reasonable crash out is exactly what you said, Ab-Stract. You got to remind me. I kind of just went off like 3 different separate times. Tell me specifically what part. Just like give me the cliff notes of what I was saying, please. It's not in the data book. It's in the margins of the weekly release, but I would say it's an official publication that accurately describes the events on panel. There you go. Thank you, John. Okay, cool. So that wasn't a data book thing, but the fact that it's an official publication that is directly talking about and referencing that very moment means it's light speed in that very moment. If you subscribe to that, thought. I obviously don't, but in their debate, they both do. So Noodles is just being unreasonable here. Have him stop asking questions and phrase his claims as positive claims. Don't engage his hypothetical. It's a trap to get you to accidentally make claims. Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Swagkage and Seth ruined the anime community. A lot more than them. Well, a few more than them, but I would definitely say Seth. And you can't blame people for being ignorant, but then again, you can. But you can't blame people for being ignorant. It is what it is. If he wants to make a claim, oh wait, I missed Keynote. Yeah, Neo Dark Schneider solos Dragon Ball because there are 6 dimensional tiers above the physical one, and God exists in the highest dimensional plane, and Dark Schneider does feats comparable to God. That's crazy. To the God of that verse, that's crazy. If he wants to make a claim about whether this source is valid or not, that's on him. And ultimately, if you read the fucking chapters, you can get the exact context of what's happening. He's an ass. Yeah, no, exactly, bro. I swear to God. Here's the thing. Ab-Stract, I don't have the patience. I do not have the patience. I do not have the mental fortitude or care to debate a question like, prove Kishimoto wrote it. Listen, Swag, not Noodles, thank you for having me. Chat, thank you for tuning in. This was a fun conversation. I think we can end it on that note. I think the people will see the disingenuousness. I think the people will see the unreasonable standard that you're trying to place on me. And I've had my fill. This is good. We've debated Konohamaru being as fast as the Rasenshuriken, therefore as fast as Pain and Kakashi. Crazy to me. We've debated if Naruto is faster or scales to his own Rasenshuriken despite him throwing it, and things being thrown are usually faster than us. Crazy again. We've debated if the Amaterasu is light speed, but Kirin is also light speed, but Sasuke didn't have chakra and it took the form of a dragon, but we're taking that as light speed, but we're not taking the instance in which he does the actual water bullet, water fang light speed. Also very crazy. So I've enjoyed myself. Noodles, you have a good one. Chat, I'm out. Click. And that's how you do it at that point. That's how you do it. You summarize everything that happened, point out all the bad, disingenuous things that he did in that argument that make him look bad, and then you just peace out. Because at no point in this conversation will I ever justify what the fuck was written on a manga panel by the goddamn artist. Listen, I don't give a fuck who wrote it. It's in the manga, isn't it? Isn't it? It's in the manga. The manga is the official canon. So if he didn't write that, are we going to say next, prove that was Kishimoto's idea? Huh? What? Proof he wrote it is the same as saying proof that was Kishimoto's idea. Excuse me, you dumb bastard? Excuse me? No, we're not doing that. I'm gracefully bowing out. This was fun, but I've had my fill. It's over. Yeah. That's how you handle stuff like that. That's how I would handle it, at least. If someone says the power of 1 million Zanpakuto, no one knows what that means. If you put kiss him or curse mark in front of any character name, you understand what that means. Zanpakuto are a variable. I can agree with you, Karibo. If you say the power of 1 million Zanpakuto, no one knows what that means. I can agree with you, and this is why I don't do Sokyoku scaling. I don't like that line of logic. I don't like that line of reasoning. What is the strength of a single Zanpakuto? Like, what are we using to quantify that? Is it based on... Are we basing it on the abilities of its Shikai? Are we basing it on the swing, how much damage it can do per swing? What are we basing it on? I wouldn't do that. I agree with Karibo 100% here. Now, this next part. If I put KCM or curse mark in front of any character name, you understand what that means. Curse mark, absolutely. Curse mark, 10 times amp, no doubt about it. KCM, you could argue for at least 10 times. You could probably argue for at least 10 times more chakra. You could probably argue that. I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it, is what I'm saying, because we see Naruto's 0 tails or 1 tails is relative to Sasuke's full KCM. So I wouldn't be mad at that. Dark Schneider does solo, but not GT. GT is a whole nother beast, says Neo Matrix. Ignil says, don't forget part 1 Zabuza, who is Edo nerf, and while at half power, as stated, but can still damage and keep up with War Art Kakashi. Absolutely. Not all Edo were nerfed. Shinigami says, hey, chat, going to eat dinner with my girlfriend. Hey, tell her I said what's up. See you, John. See you, Luna Ursa. Catch you on Discord DMs. Gotcha. Take it easy, Shinigami. Okay. Let me catch up, and then we'll keep going. We got Majestic Hero 007 here. What's good, 007? Been a while since I've seen you. Speaking of durability, I got a thread to show you, bro. Some dude tried to tell me that Ichigo couldn't tank a Rasengan. Is he quite insane? Is he quite out his mind? How about this? You know what? I'm not even going to how about this me. Show me the thread. Tag me. If you got my Twitter or my X, tag me in it. I would love to take a look at it. I would love to show him how wrong he is about anyone in Ichigo, let alone, but pretty much any top tier, any mid tier in Bleach, any low tier in Bleach, surviving a Rasengan. From who? From which Naruto? It better be adult Naruto, if anything. At least with adult Naruto, you have an argument. Anything that's not adult Naruto, though? Because you didn't even say a Rasenshuriken. You said a Rasengan? Excuse me? You playing. I can just tag you and check it out. Perfect. Tag me. Tag me. Kino, you said Zetsu scales Bleach to outer. I never seen him say that. Oh, Zeta. I don't know who Zeta is. Igno base, Kid Naruto versus Chakra, cloaked Kid Naruto. Yeah, and I'm not mad at that being a 10 times boost to Chakra. So I agree with Kuribo in that aspect. Zanpakuto would attack their souls, so it would one-shot them. So the thing about Zanpakuto's attacking souls, no. They, like, Zanpakuto's, in my opinion at least, how I would do it, they would be attacking the soul if they can actually overcome the durability of the person being attacked. They, like, the Zanpakuto isn't going to be this intangible thing that just cuts the arm and then the arm falls off. No. It would actually have to go through the durability of whatever it's cutting, and then it could potentially hit the soul. So I would just clarify it like that, Ig. Like, I'm not going to say a fodder Soul Reaper is going to be able to cut the right Kage while he's in lightning chakra armor mode. I'm not going to say that. That's insanity. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say, oh, well, his Zanpakuto is just going to bypass his lightning armor, bypass his skin, cut his chakra appendages, because they do have chakra appendages, cut his chakra appendages, and then that beats the right Kage. I'm not going to say that, no. They're going to have to overcome his lightning cloak and overcome his skin and then be able to cut him. The crash out about the dad book. Thank you. Okay, cool. That one. Got you. Doesn't Killua have better speed feats than the majority of Naruto characters also? Does Killua? I would have to look more into it. I can't say yes or no to that. Even though the two Narutos have the same control in the match, if in Naruto, everything is a factor. There you go, Kuribo. Everything is a factor. Correct. Igno says to Kuribo, it was stated that the swordsmen of the hidden mists were at 50%. Also, the creator of the jutsu says it revived you at near full strength, i.e. saying not at full power. I think there might be a confusion going on. So, Ig, Orochimaru's version of the Edo Tensei revived the Hokage at near full strength. We know Madara was made special as an Edo. We have no idea what that means for every other Edo that Kabuto summoned. We don't know what strength they are or were or how near they were near their strength. We really don't know. Oh, I thought you were piecing? Oh, I thought you were piecing out for real, LOL. Agreed. You got this. It sounded like it, right? I swear to God on everything, that's how I would piece out if the conversation with me and him was happening. Because I'm not doing that. I'm not playing this game. The author, proof he said it, proof he wrote it. Fuck you and go to hell. I'm not proving any damn thing. It's on the manga panel. What are we talking about? Yeah, no. That's where the premise of death of the author comes in, because we can't prove what's canon as to the standard of Kishimoto's intent. There you go. Proof he wrote it. Proof he thought it. Proof Kishimoto came up with the idea in Naruto. Proof he did it. Proof he wasn't inspired by someone else and that he jocked and stole and plagiarized someone else's idea. And that he pulled a who were the people that stole the Matrix from that lady? The Wachowski brothers. Prove he didn't pull the Wachowski brothers and steal the entirety of Naruto from another creator and didn't credit them. Prove it. Prove it. You can't. Shut up. Dumb argument. I will say this. I would love to see Sasuke kill Kale or Kaba from... No, that's never happening. Chakra Cloak Naruto has higher chakra control because he is controlling the amount of chakra due to Chakra Cloak being maintained. All right. That was a circular argument that also was... Yeah, Ig, hold up. So he had better chakra control because the chakra around his cloak was being better maintained. That's what indicated the better chakra control, or did that indicate that the Ninetales was actually working with him in more cooperation? I don't know. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't know if that's fully right. I tagged you. Perfect. Appreciate you, Majestic 007. Bro, he was tanking attacks stronger than that in the round card. Stop that shit. Stop it. By the way, that's if you're coming in late or you're just watching the stream, that's for the ums. I gotta stop saying Don't get me wrong. I don't say to the point where it's like annoying, but I just want to get better at speaking in general. And I like to eliminate the So every time I hear myself do the I'm gonna, stop that shit. Cause I rewatch my own lives for, what's it called? Clips and stuff like that. So yeah. Bro, he was thinking the attack stronger than that in the Aranka arc. Yes, what I was gonna say was we can just go to the Soul Society arc. We can go to the Soul Society arc. But yes, the Aranka arc works too. He tagged your Ab-Stract. Bet. Thank you, Pac. Bro, Kabuto's Edo's was still confirmed to be nerfed. There you go. If they were confirmed to be nerfed, there you go. Zanpakuto interact with physical and spiritual durability. They don't bypass it. Karibo is correct. Hey, we got Nick in the chat. By the way, if you're new to the chat, Nick is just some guy 9. Just some guy 9 is Nick. Chakra is in One Piece. I would believe it. Ig says, I disagree with Ab-Stract because the Zanpakuto is a spiritual sword, so it would neg their durability, but it's a different story in Bleach because of spiritual pressure. So the thing is this, though. Not everything in Bleach has spiritual pressure, but we see Zanpakuto can get stuck in walls. They don't just bypass them. They physically affect the environment, right? Which means they're not intangible weapons just going through everything that they slash. That wouldn't even make sense, Ig. That wouldn't even make sense. For example, let me think of an instance where a Zanpakuto was used on a... Now, I don't know if we have an example of a Zanpakuto being used on a regular human, that is. I can't think of any examples, but that wouldn't discount the idea that the Zanpakuto do get stuck in physical things. I tagged you in that post, by the way. I appreciate it. Spiritual pressure innately affects the soul without having to do physical damage, such as Tatsuki getting crushed by Yami's passive spiritual pressure, which would be less concentrated than an actual attack. It's just they can interact with physical things as well. Okay, so Grid, are you also on the stance that the Zanpakuto can bypass physical matter and physical properties? Are you also on that? Very interesting. It's both Ab-Stract. The Nine-Tails was helping him, which granted him higher chakra control, something base Naruto can't do, i.e. making chakra arms and hands, etc., etc. It's a bigger boost to his stats. Okay, I got what you're saying. As far as the Naruto thing, I got what you're saying. This Zanpakuto business is a little funky for me. I don't know if I believe that fully. Grid, exactly. Cool. Let's keep going. We're actually about to wrap it up. It's 4 o'clock, and if I plan on going live tonight, I need some rest time. But we'll see about that. We'll go to like 2:30.
They put those in there to hype up the next chapter. That's the purpose.
What are we talking about right now?
I don't even know what this is. This could just easily be an editor writing this, because in the official volume release,
talking about
in the official volume release of it, the Viz release of it, that statement isn't even present there. I just looked at it. Let me find it again real quick.
Yeah, I know, but
It's
this is a weekly
there.
volume release.
It's not. It's a weekly release, not a volume release.
Yeah, I meant a weekly chapter release. Yeah, but it's still manga. We agree.
Yeah, but just because it's manga doesn't mean Kishimoto actually wrote it. It could have easily just been an editor. Like, look, this is the official volume release.
Wait, 02, the title.
So real quick, just to comment on Nick's thing, he says everything in Bleach in the main universe has souls, even ice water, a chair, etc. That's why the spiritual attacks can interact with physical states, only because it's Bleach. I would disagree with that. I would say so. You have to look at it like this: the pluses are more so intangible because they're not dense spiritual beings, right? This is why they can phase through things and seem to have not incorporeal necessarily, but incorporeal forms to where they're like just like essences or whatever like that, right? But we understand that the Shinigami and Hollows and Arankar, they're denser spirit beings which can actually interact with the environment. So the fact that they're denser spiritual beings, that already kind of disqualifies their attacks just being able to bypass physical matter. We don't even see that when they're attacking or being interacted with physical matter, right? We don't even see that happen. Else Ichigo, like everything having a soul, mind you, the soul of these things is very small. It's not like it's permeating its environment through this. That's not what's happening. It's a very small soul of the thing that resides within whatever matter or thing that we're talking about. And it's not like the soul is omnipresent. It resides in it, but it's not everything that makes it up, right? So when Ichigo gets like thrown into the ground and thrown into the dirt and stuff, he's having a physical impact because he's not intangible. Not because the thing has a soul. The soul wouldn't stop it, right? I mean, an example of it bypassing durability. Look at Ichigo versus Ulquiorra. Okay, hold up. His attacks were bypassing his durability / regeneration and killed him. Before Vassal loaded, Ulquiorra was able to regen his limb. Are you talking about what we're talking about, 007? AKA Son of the Almighty? I'm saying that it was stated that everything has souls. Okay, yes, I agree with that. Everything has souls. Grid says, Igno, I don't agree with that sentiment. The one component of the souls that Bleach characters don't generally interact with is the Tamashi, which is the only part of the soul objects have. Thank you, Grid. Grid is absolutely correct. We have the Ho and the Hun / the Tamashi, the ethereal, indestructible, non-corporeal soul, and then we have the Konpaku, which is the body of the thing. Most things don't interact with the Konpaku. Now, here's the thing, though, and I'll probably do a video on this later, too. Here's the thing. In Naruto, they have a mindscape. In Naruto, they have a mindscape. And if you look up the etymology for soul or for breath, I can't remember which one, it will either say or allude to the mind. So this tells me that much like Bleach characters, they have two states or two versions of their soul. They have their innermost being, which resides in them, which is their mindscape. This is where Naruto fights Kurama. This is where Minato fights Kurama. This is where Kushina and all the Biju hang out and have their conversations. Their mindscape, which represents their soul. And then they have their actual physical, incorporeal chakra-based soul. Interestingly enough, if you guys remember my video on JJK where I said the technique dictates how the soul is perceived or interacted with, it's almost the same thing in Naruto. Because we'll see like the Reaper Death Seal pull out a physical body soul. We'll see it, right? A physical body soul. But then we'll have things like Pain's jutsu pull out what appears to be a ghost shell form of that thing. We'll also see Nagato when he does Rene Rebirth, the souls will just be green wisps going back into the body. But that's for another conversation. What I was getting at was if in Naruto, it is like Bleach, to where the inner soul of a Soul Reaper is their mindscape where they talk with their Zanpakutos and where they fight the Battle of the Hollows. Because that all takes place in their Tamashi, and I can prove that. If it is the case that that's similar to what's happening in Naruto, then that would mean the Naruto equivalent of the Konpaku would actually be the incorporeal chakra-based soul that ninja have. And in that respects, I'll say, yes, if a Zanpakuto were to cut off the limb of a person in Naruto, their actual chakra limb would follow with it. Although I'm on camera saying that might happen even if their arm is cut off by a regular sword. Why do I say that? Well, because we've seen your spiritual appendages getting cut off have an impact on your physical body. I like to use the law of double implication reversal. So if that can have an impact on your physical body, then your physical body should also have an impact on your spiritual body. Not to say that if your arm gets physically cut off, it like destroys your spiritual arm. No, I more so believe that they are molded around each other. So when Tsunade was bisected, you could say part of her spiritual body was bisected with her. You could say that just based on, listen, I'll say this. I'm saying that based on the effects we've seen spiritual attacks have on the physical body. So with that being said, a Zanpakuto, well, I guess there's no real difference in it, right? Because if you're cutting it off with a real physical sword, that's not a Zanpakuto, and I'm saying it's cut off, then using a Zanpakuto wouldn't really be any different. The only difference would be, I guess, in Ig's case, if we're arguing with Igno saying, if you were to use a Zanpakuto to cut off the head of a spiritual being, then that would actually, the head of a Naruto character, and it would like go through them. Let's just say it goes through them and cuts their spiritual appendage off. Then that would kill them outright because we've seen the effect it's had on arms, and that would kill them outright. But like I said, I don't know if that's happening. I can't really prove it. I can only use the logic of spiritual appendages affecting physical things. So yeah. But yes, Grid says, I don't agree with that sentiment. The one component, yeah, right, I read that. Ig says, so I would say in a cross verse in Naruto versus Ichigo, Naruto would have to have spiritual resistance. He doesn't have. He can spiritually resist, but I don't know if the case can be made that he has spiritual resistance. We haven't seen that within the show too many times. Contextually, the Tamashi is what goes into the soul cycle and gets reincarnated. Grid is correct. With the Kishi Reishi body, it gets a little odd to explain if we say Tamashi can be attacked at a standard. I agree. I agree. Grid is absolutely correct. The Tamashi can only be affected in certain cases in Bleach, but Grid, there are instances where where the Tamashi goes to war, goes to battle, goes to fight. And every instance of visor training actually encapsulates that. Not every instance of visor training, but no. Every instance of visor training in Zanpakuto battles actually happens within the Tamashi. Anyways, that's gonna be a fun video to make because I love lore dumping. I love lore stuff, and I love putting it in context with other verses and stuff. That's gonna be fun to make. So what I'm hearing is that anyone in any verse can tank spiritual attacks if they have a high durability. Anyone in any verse. So like you gotta understand though, it's twofold for Bleach because I don't believe they're just using, for example, like here's the thing. No, you're not. I'm not saying that. We're not on the same page here. Not anyone in any verse can take spiritual attacks. What we're specifically talking about is Zanpakuto and how they function. They function by first interacting physically, and then if they can overcome the physical, then they will inevitably overcome the spiritual as well. Absolutely. But no, if we're talking about things like spiritual pressure, stealing your soul, or even hollows just being able to push the souls out of people, no. Being physically durable isn't doing shit against that. Yeah. But in the case of Zanpakuto, they would have to interact first and then have a spiritual interaction. Contextually, the Tamashi is, I already read that. Cool. Explain this chakra-based soul independence concept in detail, please, for the chat. I kind of thought I did, but I can do it again. I don't mind. So yeah, essentially, when Orochimaru was fighting with Hiruzen, we see Orochimaru get his spiritual appendages cut off. Orochimaru losing his spiritual appendages has an effect on his physical body, right? Furthermore, we understand losing your spiritual body has an effect on your physical body, of course. So you necessarily need your spiritual appendages or your spiritual body to help sustain your physical body. But Orochimaru kind of bypasses this by getting a new body, which is convoluted in itself. So what I theorized was, okay, if the spiritual can have that big of an impact on the physical, mind you, Orochimaru's arms became completely useless. His arms became completely useless. They turned black. They were dying, essentially. They were dying. His physical arms were dying. They were decaying from losing his spiritual appendages. Right? So we know the spiritual affects the physical. But if someone were to lose a limb, it get cut off, well, hold up. Now your arm isn't physically there. Your arm isn't physically there, and we know losing your spiritual appendages affects your physical arm. Would it be the same if your arm was cut off physically? What would happen to your spiritual appendage? I surmise that instead of it being cut off 1-to-1, because that's not what happened to Orochimaru, right? His spiritual appendage wasn't cut off and then his arm came off. That's not what happened. What happened was a corresponding effect happened with Orochimaru. So if your physical arm is cut off, I would surmise especially if it can be healed or reattached, that your body or your soul is now taking the shape or form of your body. Think JJK Mahito, the shape of the soul. Your body is now shaping how your soul will look. And I wish we got to see an example of this. We kind of do with Minato, but Minato loses both his physical arms. He loses both his physical arms. His physical arms are gone as an Edo. Right? So that actually kind of proves what I'm that actually kind of proves what I'm talking about. But it would also prove the opposite. Because if Minato were to lose his physical arms, but he's an Edo and they come back, that means they're not permanently destroyed. What that means is they come back and are formed around the shape of his physical body. So in essence, one would affect and one does affect the other, just to an unknown specific degree, right? We don't have an example for everything else. We don't know if they lost their spiritual head, would their head turn black and they just die and just fall over. We don't really know. They might like start to die out slowly, like Orochimaru's arms, but still maintain their faculties and stuff like that. So we don't know for sure. But that's essentially what it is. And that's kind of how I rationalize it with Zanpakuto interacting with Naruto characters. I don't believe they're intangible. I don't believe Zanpakuto can just cut through anything. No, they consistently physically interact with spiritual matter and physical matter. Wait, where was I? Wait, what was that with JJK? Oh, y'all haven't seen? I have a whole video on JJK about the mind-body problem. It's actually quite a fascinating and beautiful breakdown, I might add, for my knowledge of JJK. Y'all can watch that. I'm not going to get into it right now. Let me know what you think about it when you do. It's the mind-body problem, JJK. Does this intimate that chakra is literally a soul energy? Hey, Ursa, what you think I was on? Yo, I swear to God. Can I be arrogant for a second? Can I talk my shit for a second? Listen. Hold up, bro. We be talking about, man. It's like we don't watch Ab-Stract's content, man. Hold up, bro. We gonna take a break. Hold up. Hold up. Souls and chakra. What do we think this video was about? It's a 3-minute video, but it goes deep. The truth about TSOs. 4-minute video, but it goes deep. Let's do this real quick. Some self-promotion. After weeks of diving into the depths of the Naruto universe, I finally uncovered compelling evidence that suggests the souls within this realm are intricately woven from pure chakra. If you haven't already, go watch my video on the truth-seeking orbs. It served as a starting point for this hypothesis, but now, recent revelations concerning Don Kato have solidified this theory. Let's get started. So let's look at some earlier evidence. Consider Orochimaru's clash with the third Hokage. When Hiruzen nearly extracted Orochimaru's soul using a death god, only his arms were taken. But this incident crippled Orochimaru's ability to perform ninjutsu. Even after switching bodies, he was physically incapable of performing jutsu that required the use of hand seals. This was the first hint at a deeper connection between the soul and chakra. The sealing and stealing of Orochimaru's arms not only implied that spiritual attacks can permanently affect chakra-linked abilities, but that the essence of chakra resides in or is entirely made up of the soul itself. Then, in the 4th grade ninja... Bars, nigga! I'm sorry, like, that question is... That, like, here's... Ursa, I'm so far ahead of this shit, I'm waiting for people to catch up! Low key, I'm feeling myself because I just had this conversation on Twitter. I literally had to say, listen, we're going to review it actually. Maybe not today, but we'll review it. I was talking to Zaz. Shout out to Zaz, we're cool now. I was talking to Zaz and I was telling him about chakra. And you guys already know my stances on chakra, right? But I had to tell the young brother, I was like, listen, bro, when you know what you know, and you know someone's really not there with you, respectfully, you got to talk to the information that they know. You can't just bring them to level 10. If you're still debating that everyone has chakra, I am not talking to you about chakra in the souls. You don't know. You don't have enough information yet. You don't know enough. You're not gonna be able to keep up. If you're still debating that Hagoromo passed around chakra like candy, excuse me. If you're still debating that Hagoromo passed around chakra like candy, I can't talk to you about this. You're not going to be able to keep up. You don't know enough, respectfully. You haven't dug enough. You're still learning it. Respectfully. This video is what, 2 years old? God knows how long I had the thoughts for. I just didn't have the channel. So respectfully, yes, Ursa. Let me answer that question for you. Does this intimate that chakra is literally a soul energy? Yes, ma'am. To a degree. No, not even to a degree. Yes, ma'am. The real formula is actually by fusing yin and yang, mind and body. They produce chakra. They produce chakra, soul. But we understand that you don't need the body necessarily. On some levels, the body is not needed. Let's finish the video. Orochimaru summons the same Reaper that had claimed his arms. Upon reclaiming both his spiritual appendages in the souls of the past Hokage, he regained his ninjutsu prowess and even resurrected said Hokage. The importance of Orochimaru's jutsu returning upon completing his ritual with the Reaper further shows that indicate the connection between pure chakra and the soul being the same thing. Then when we move more into the war arc, we find more examples of chakra not being limited by a physical body or the physical plane for that matter. Consider Hagoromo, the Sage of Six Paths, who bestowed chakra upon Naruto and Sasuke from beyond the grave. Even Obito exemplifies this by transmitting both Sage of Six Paths chakra and his Sharingan to Kakashi, who is in the world of the living. Both of these examples would be impossible if the souls in Naruto didn't possess chakra themselves or were made completely of it. But if you were to be nitpicky, I suppose you could chalk both of these cases up to them receiving chakra in their inner worlds and it being a special case. Enter Don Kato in his remarkable technique, the Spirit Transformation Jutsu. As documented in the databooks, this jutsu allows the user's soul to detach from the body, becoming a ghost that possesses a target, leading to their spiritual collapse and demise. During the 4th grade ninja war, Don uses this technique in order to assist Tsunade. He takes over her body and evades an attack from Madara. After this, Madara comments, "You've regained your vitality. You've received chakra." So if you were on the edge up until this point, I understand, but this piece of evidence is undeniable. Don, who is a fully complete spirit at this point, acting in the world of the living, was able to travel to Tsunade and give her chakra from his spiritual body. And then Kishimoto even doubles down on this with what happens next. After Tsunade and Don part ways, the Mizukage makes an observation of Madara. She says, Madara's chakra was going away, but now it's stuck tight to him. This observation of Madara's chakra solidifies the theory of the souls being completely comprised of chakra, and is further supported by Don's spectral ability to transfer chakra. Now regarding the truth-seeking orbs, within the Naruto world, these orbs nullify chakra via combining shadow and light styles. The reason I believe they were able to work on the Edo Tensei is because they were bound to physical bodies, and although technically spirits, any damage received by TSOs would have a lasting effect on their spiritual body. But we take a look at Don Kato's jutsu, which makes him an actual spirit void of a body, and as we can clearly read, physical attacks do not work on him because as a ghost, he has no substance. So the TSOs would have to have a feat of harming a spiritual body void of Edo Tensei for me to believe they are existence erasers. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That boy good, isn't he? Hey, hold up, man. Hold up. Nah, we ain't doing that. Hold up, man. That boy good. To the channel, y'all. That was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. Talking that shit. Talking that talk. That boy good. Oh, man. That was funny, though. Give me 1 second. I gotta take a bathroom break. Alright. Yeah. That was Ab-Stract from 2 years ago talking that talk. So respectfully, bro, like, I don't be saying a lot because I know most people don't go that deep with the series. Most people aren't thinking on that level type shit. Or I shouldn't even say thinking on that level. I should just keep it to going that deep. Respectfully. Okay. So then any Zanpakuto would neg these durability if they have no soul damage attack resistance. So then any Zanpakuto would neg their durability. No, Ig, did you miss completely what I was saying, bro? They interact physically with things and spiritually with things. So no, there is no negging. We have never seen any spiritual attacks in Naruto being blocked or resisted. Yeah. And I did my best to find instances. The only thing that we've seen was Naruto pulling back on his soul, and that's resisting, not resistance. So yeah. What's good, Kino? Oh, they don't allow Twitter links. I forgot. Oh, that's okay. Ab, do you even have a physical body? Can't prove that. I'm Ab-Stract. Do you know what the word abstract means? Of course I don't have no physical body. What's wrong with you? I'm here remotely from the 8th, actually. I don't think that really works. It sounds more of an assumption than a fact. And it's weird to say that just because the spiritual can affect the physical, but that doesn't have to be the case. Oh, no, of course. It's a theory. It's a theory. Absolutely. That's why I'm not positing it as true. But there's a lot of evidence to suggest. My understanding is that if a Zanpakuto comes into contact with someone strong enough to tank it, it won't go through since they have to physically interact. Grid is correct, or grid and mirror, the same on the matter. Exactly, Nirvana Agrio. Even with all the intricacies, Naruto characters still can't take attacks from a Zanpakuto. I mean, I don't think they can just because their durability just wouldn't allow them to for the most part, but yeah. You do see some soul/hollows bypass physical objects and spiritually, specifically in the Hellverse. Yeah, no, exactly. But that's the thing, though. There are some techniques that innately bypass physical durability. Hollows have a lot of them. There are objects and weapons in Soul Society that can do it, right? Like the glove that can just push out your Konpaku. Spiritual pressure, for example. But no, the vast majority of things are going to interact with the physical first, and then the other thing. All right. Where we at? Since the soul is inside the body, the Zanpakuto won't reach it and thus can't affect it. Grid also says, could you name an example? I'm blanking. Ursa says, what about when Orochimaru got his arms back? Damn, I see. I went for so damn long. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I said to make you ask that question, basically. If it's asked, then I'm going to be debunking it, gang. As in if the arguments are bad. Oh, you mean my video? I mean, you can try. Please. Because I work off of evidence. I don't just say shit, bro. I find, like, please. Where we at? Let's finish their joint up first, actually. Where's my history? Okay. Did you say that chakra was connected by the soul itself? Hagoromo did, but it was retcon due to Boruto itself. Yo, I like the no ads while live. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. No one complained about it, so I'm appreciating that you took note of it, Ig. I appreciate that. Did you say that chakra was connected by the soul itself? More so that the soul itself might be composed of chakra, or chakra itself might be composed of the soul. Either one. I understand the implications depending on which one you take, but more so that ideology. It's not a retcon. Mental energy is still considered chakra, as the mineral energy and physical energy are stated to be chakras. See, but the thing is, we have consistent showings of just mental energy being chakra or being used as chakra. Hagoromo spread Ninshu, the knowledge and capability to use chakra. He did not literally give people chakra like a charity handing out cloths. And so, Grid, that's what I'm talking about, bro. If you still believe that, you can't have a deep conversation with Ab-Stract about chakra. In fact, you can't talk to me. You can't speak to me about Naruto, actually. You can. Don't get me wrong. You can. I'm obviously joking. And I'll engage the conversation. But I'm going to talk to you with the information that I know you have available, with the information that's available within your head. Because if you're still thinking like that, then you can't even begin to think that the soul is composed of chakra, because it directly counters your argument of Hagoromo spreading chakra. It directly goes against it. So there's no need to introduce that. You won't understand how the TSOs really operate and work. You won't understand mental energy being used for chakra by itself. You won't get any of these things because you don't understand what chakra is. From my point of view, I could be totally wrong. I don't believe I am. Hagoromo, oh yeah. So my claim that chakra is spiritual energy, is a fact. Yes. So my claim that chakra is spirit energy, spiritual energy from / of the soul is a fact. Yes. I think I say that in my video, actually. Yeah, I do say that. I say the power of the soul. One smart is a reckon. Also, chakra's ability to link mindscapes, Naruto and Sasuke, Obito and Kakashi, pretty explicitly tells us it has to be closely tied to the soul. Yes. Exactly. I mean, like, Minato appearing in Naruto's mindscape because of chakra should have been the biggest clue. Kushina doing the same thing should have also been a red flag. Like, hold up. This is chakra, right? Okay, cool. Unfortunately, evidence can be based on interpretation. I agree. We're done with the Naruto inverse debate between those YouTubers, right? Yeah, we're done with that. Always takes me way too long to notice. Ab-Stract, please get your glasses. I be enjoying myself so much, I never remember to grab them, bro. Damn. And I'm so close to the fucking... I'm so close to the laptop, bro. Ah, man. Thank you, Grid. It takes me so long to notice, too, because I'm just excited to talk about anime and stuff. It's okay, because we're about to end this one. If I'm not too tired, though, I'll go live again, hopefully around, like, 8. It's literally stated that was the case, but now with Boruto stuff, everyone always had chakra, and since mental energy and physical energy are both chakra, so it's just a retcon. It's a retcon, but it's not, bro. And we're going to review some information that directly goes against this. It's not a retcon. It's not a retcon. Or I'll say this, because I've said this before, and I love how I phrase things, bro. Man, oh man. I got to do a self-glaze day one day where I just get all my best shit and make a collage of all my best shit. I got to do that one day because I'd be so on point sometimes. To Ig's point, what I said is this. If you believe it's a retcon, that is fine because the argument certainly exists. But the argument that everyone has always had chakra also exists, and there's actually more evidence for it, even within the beginning half of the series. I'm gonna put y'all on some game for this shit, bro. I swear to God, I am. I'm gonna put y'all on game. But anyways, let me eat my lunch. And my sister was calling me. Dylan, if you remember how far you are in percent. Oh, yeah. Pretty far, honestly. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just leave you guys with this, though, real quick. Talking about this chakra stuff. Let's do this real quick. Where's my photos? Let's do this real quick. As Sakura said, manipulation of the chakra refers to summoning physical and mental energies and combining them within your own body. Right now, none of you are using your chakras effectively. So we have that statement. We have Ebisu's explanation. Now, building up on that, let me break down the art of doppelganger. First, in Sakura's case, she initiates the technique. She's able to convert precisely 30% of her 30% of her stamina into chakra. Right? Then, because she can expertly control her chakra volume as well, when she begins making her hand signs, she can clearly produce 3 copies of herself and still have 70% of her stamina left for later use. Cool. You're even more inept than Sasuke in creating chakra. In creating chakra. Very interesting he would use that word. So when you only need 30%, you inadvertently create 50. Let me ask you guys something. Have you ever been told something in layman's terms? Or have you ever been told an explanation that didn't necessitate you knowing 100% about the thing? I'm going to leave you with that. That's all that's going on here. The reason he can get away with saying create chakra here, and the reason Kakashi's dumbass can say summoning chakra here, is because he's talking in a way that doesn't necessitate breaking it down like it's a fucking science class. That's what it is. I'll leave you guys with that, but we'll get into it. Hopefully. If I'm not, too tired or whatever. Oh, hold up. Okay. Alrighty, Ab-Stract. Also, do me a favor, please, and eventually watch my Gojo versus Yami debunk if you're interested in Gojo and JJK stuff, i.e. Gojo's limitless technique and domain and other JJK technique stuff. Gotcha, bro. I would like your opinion on the JJK stuff. Do you mean the JJK stuff regarding your videos or the JJK stuff regarding things I've said about JJK? Which one, bro? Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense, yeah. We're going to get into it because and I'm not saying anything new, guys. This isn't going to be revolutionary or anything. There's no difference between stamina, physical energy, mental energy, and the combined version. There's literally no difference. Not really. It's all the same shit, bro. Ebisu would be more technical terms, while Kakashi would be common language. So even in that, Karibo, because I'm not mad at you saying that. So here's the thing. Ebisu gives a longer explanation, and one might even argue he breaks it down further. But his use of the language still isn't as accurate as possible when we're talking about chakra. He's still talking about it from someone who understands it, but isn't giving you the full scope of it because you don't need it and it's not necessary for what you're doing right now. JJK stuff that I say in the debunk video. I'll send the link. Okay, perfect. All right, so I've probably shot my voice today. So what we'll do, if I do have a live tonight, we'll be watching Ig's video. We'll be watching the video from Aizen's World and maybe another video. We'll see. That's if I do go live tonight. I appreciate you guys for pulling up, fucking with me. That's 3 hours and 47 minutes. 3 hours and 47 minutes dedicated to y'all. If you watch this on the playback, like the stream, I took down the ads. I hope you guys appreciate not having ads on the VOD or the initial watch. So I, hope y'all appreciate that.